Let's
the
go.
Grease Tap
Damn,
Bar.
it's happening.
Yeah, it's happening.
I wasn't ready for this.
You have just had a conversation with the playwright, Chester, who is
All
currently
right.
being
Oh.
wheeled back to his table.
Is Sinrab gone? Is he dead?
Yes.
Sunrab is no longer appearing in this film.
For
At
real?
least not- No, until next time that you would interact with him.
Yes.
Oh.
Right now, actually, if you look in the other, the other chat is not. It's actually not in the other chat yet. But I think it's either CB or Lindsay. It's Lindsay, I think, who is running a 5e game at this time every other week, and Senrab's in that, so he can't do this every other
What
week.
a bastard.
I'd like to interact with Chester.
Yeah. Call Senrab right now.
Get him in here.
Bring, bring.
Banana phone. Oh,
Bring, bring.
shit, that.
Guess he's not home.
No, but I can fill in. I can be Sir filling in for Chester at this time. You also have in your possession one Bulgar.
Yep.
One bulgur wheat.
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go take him back to Mario Sensei.
There's 3 unconscious gnomes that have been cleaned up into
One clean
into the
gnome.
corner, as well as a pie. It's basically
pie?
a part of the bar has just been turned into a pile of unconscious bodies. One of them might be dead. You're not sure.
Oh, wait.
That's okay.
That's good.
Yeah, I definitely killed one.
Grobrook is kind of like poking at him and shrugging at him.
Yeah, I'm kind of sorry about that. Really.
Eh,
I'm swinging around a knife. I don't really. Yeah,
who died?
Who died?
that guy.
Oh
That
no,
was
Rita.
Oh,
Her power
Rita.
might have gone out.
That sucks. I thought she was playing on her phone.
Yay.
Did your
Welcome
power
back.
go out?
Nope.
What'd you do?
I
What
was
happened?
just, I was just switching to my phone, and I made more of a mess of it than I intended to. Sorry.
I made
Oh,
right.
no.
Yeah, if this was a bet, I'd have gotten money. Oh well.
Okay. Well, your phone sounds good.
Yeah.
Except
you
now it
don't-
doesn't sound like anything at all because you're muted. But that's
Yeah.
okay.
All
You
right.
don't sound like you're in a cup.
So let's take Bulgar back to Mario.
Yes.
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 Where is he, Cesare?
At, I don't know, at Mario House.
What's that? Sorry. Bulgar trapped in a wow.
The Mario Brothers household.
Yeah.
Off to a good
Let's get
start.
the Mushroom Kingdom, baby.
Did we talk about this deal? I'm sorry. What was his name? Chester?
Yeah.
With
Yes.
We
everybody?
didn't talk
We
about
said
it
maybe.
because
Okay,
But we
well,
still have a bunch of other shit to take care of right now.
Oh yeah, I guess we shouldn't just drop everything for a man that attacked us. Well, not attacked us.
We
Incidentally
gotta
attacked us.
deal with Bulgar. We gotta deal with the French. We gotta deal with the dwarves.
the French.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Just before we continue, what exactly is a dark and stormy baby?
What?
Where- Make me as dark and stormy.
What?
baby. He's
That's
a
what
dark
Rita
and
said.
stormy is a drink, and she's saying
Yeah.
she's gonna make a dark and
Oh.
stormy, and then she's referring to us as babies.
Yes.
Babies.
Baby.
Okay. Sorry, I
it's got-
mistranslated.
I'm
It's
going
ginger
to
beer and
craft
dark
my dark
rum.
and stormy baby.
It was a dark and stormy baby.
I can't believe that Rita's putting a real twist on this dark and storm.
Okay, got it.
Anywho, all right. So, dragging Bulgar along. Also, Kasumi, you are currently hunting down Poshman Sneaker Beaker.
Yes.
Sure am.
That's a gnome.
Yeah, it is a gnome.
No,
I don't know. Play Taken theme. Play 24 sound.
All right, 1 second. I got.
No,
Don't
don't
you-
actually do it.
Don't.
Don't play the Taken.
No,
you are
don't-
banned
no.
from using that thing.
You don't use music until further notice.
I don't want to go deaf.
You're grounded.
Oh, right. I forgot. Y'all are mad at me about the pillar.
So, yeah, Kasumi, Poshman has disappeared into the crowd of Minotaurs that, are living in their city, but you have her address. Getting there is a bit interesting because it is a labyrinth address, and it's a bit of a journey through the winding streets. Are you going to try and get there alone, or do you want to like grab someone to try and lead you there?
I'm gonna find the nearest street urchin.
The nearest urchin of the streets.
They usually want money in no places.
Okay. Roll perception then, or actually,
Roll urchin hunt.
yeah, roll gather information. So diplomacy.
Okay.
Okay.
Bad.
You walk around a corner and find a Minotaur street urchin. They're about your height.
Oi, governor.
Okay, can you please be voiced by Fruit?
Well, I wouldn't know what to say.
Just to have him relay all the messages to you. It's good.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for
For just anyone who can do a high pitched Cockney accent, thank you. But
I'm sorry, I'm very
What's it worth to you?
I want to hear Salus's and Fruit's Cockney orphans fight.
okay,
There's
can it be two? Yeah, two of them. Yeah, I diplomacied so well.
yes, you managed to gain 2 orphans, and you have the option to adopt. Um,
Ooh, you know I'm taking it.
I don't know my mother.
Oh.
Out of luck if you're looking for her.
Believe me, kid, I know your problems.
Oh yeah, we're all dead family members, aren't we?
Okay. Sorry, I was very thrown off by this
I'm
entire
a little
interaction.
orphan boy.
This is my friend, little orphan boy.
Number 2.
And this is my friend, little urchin.
Fuck me. God, that's good.
Street urchin and little orphan boy.
Please, Mom, I'm a 3rd orphan. I've just
One-
crawled out in a gutter, haven't I?
This is our 3rd friend, got our option.
What is happening?
That's right, I'm an option.
Please tell me this has brought Kasumi to her senses.
You've become the orphan picker.
And then it's
Some
revealed.
people also call me Rick.
And then it's revealed one of the orphans is Sneaker Beaker.
We're all
Okay.
on the wrong continent, aren't we? We got all mixed up, didn't we?
Oh, we're so poor we can't even afford the right accent.
I feel that.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Okay. So
Just have to pick up accents off the street and that.
let me fucking say something before you make me laugh again. Okay. You guys know your way around these parts, correct?
That's right. Bitch. No,
Just call me
I
bitch.
just moved here.
I live in the gutter.
Jesus Christ.
Would you happen to know your way around the labyrinth?
Of course, for a price.
Oh, I got money.
Oh, we don't accept money.
What?
We only accept other people's parents. I'm sure you have a great number of parents you can offer us.
Occasionally,
You look
we
like a
also
fellow that's got a lot of parents and
By
no
the way-
problems.
accept the odd
As I-
Faustian bargain.
As I look over to the left, Amy is currently drawing her friend's cat, and it's a very angry-looking cat at the moment. So I'm imagining this little, orphan boy voice coming from the cat.
Yes, we're all a bunch of reverse Rumpelstiltskins. You must give us your first parent. Oh, I thought you meant we were reverse Rumpelstiltskins
He's a man.
we were all angry cats. No, which doesn't make sense. No, I'm not an
One should
Avatar.
reverse Rumpelstiltskins, and that
We
you
are-
have to say not our names in order for us to go away.
That's right.
We are all cats, though.
We are all cats. That's true.
Yes,
But
we're
you can see that.
from Minotaurs into Iritors.
Now see, I'm trying to find a gnome. You might have saw him as she left.
Yeah, I might have seen a gnome. What's it worth to you?
I don't know, adopting you.
Then get the deal.
Oh, I've always wanted to be adopted. Oh.
So in exchange for showing me where I could find this piece of shit gnome,
Oh, she said a
I'll
dirty
adopt
word.
you. I'll adopt you.
All right, but you gotta prove it.
I feel like I can accept the responsibility. All right, I gotta prove it. All right, let's go. Let's go down to the adoption office. This Taken adventure is taking a very distinct turn I was not expecting.
Well, Taken is supposed to be about finding your daughter, so maybe you just found 3 new ones.
It's fair.
They're minotaurs.
Nice.
Yes, they are.
Oh,
Cat minotaurs.
Ish.
Yeah,
Jesus
no,
Christ.
I said the she found a street urchin is about as tall as she is.
You are about to adopt 3 minotaurs that you met in the gutter.
Yep.
Okay.
What's the problem?
I never said there was a problem. There is, though.
Was it a gnome what had bunch of weird eyewear?
Yes.
What, she
Yes,
went
it
this
is.
way.
Okay. All right. So,
All right, you follow the 3 Minotaur street urchins.
what are their names? Give me the names.
Their names
I'm
are
Rick.
no,
Okay,
their
Rick.
names are not Rick.
I'm Brandon.
My name is Rick. I
Rick,
don't know what this
Brandon,
weird
and-
voice in the sky is saying.
Ah,
The name that my mother that doesn't exist gave me.
My name is Brandon. It's Minotaur classic.
Rick,
Yeah,
Brandon.
my name is Rick is short for Rick Dune.
It's a common suffix.
Yes, in Minotaur
Yeah.
culture.
And my name is One.
Yeah.
I never knew that. So it's spelled with a W and a U, not an O. So it's one. So it's Rick
Rick Dune.
Brandon. Oh, excuse me, it's Rick Dune.
can't believe this
Well,
orphan has a
Rick
keyword.
Dune,
Please call me
Brandon,
Rick.
and One Dune.
One. No, not one Dune, just one.
One Dune.
I couldn't afford the second U. They said, well, you want to buy a vowel? And you said, no, sir, I can't afford.
Please, sir, can I have another vowel?
No.
All right. This is going great. How's it going on y'all's end?
Crying a little bit.
Oh, really? That's what I was doing too. Possibly for different reasons.
I'm rolling a new character.
I'm rolling a new campaign.
Is it
New group.
We finally got that Fiddlers on the Roof campaign going.
Fiddler on the Roof.
That's the one with the orphans.
You're just
right?
naming
Finally.
random musicals because you know that Annie exists.
Oh, I forgot Annie's the one about the orphans.
Fiddler on the Roof is.
I never watched any of them.
shtetl.
Yes, as you're walking through, one of the orphans goes,
If I was a rich orphan. Na 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 na.
All right, let's just watch Fiddler on the Roof, everybody. It's a great film, fun for the whole family.
Also, the clip of Alfred Molina doing that while he was in Doc Ock costume was on Twitter the other day.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a good.
it's really good.
Anyway, so yes, Kasumi, you follow the 3 orphans and they lead you down various streets until you eventually reach a rather ramshackle-looking, run-down area. Bits of the masonry are overgrown with mildew. It's damp, but still warm. The torches keep it that way, even when they gutter on the last remaining dribs of oil seeped into their cloths. You walk in, you find this to be some sort of boarding house. The Minotaur at the front desk, old, crooked, drooling, briefly looks up to you and goes, "You got no room."
Oh, that's okay. I'm here to see a friend.
Yes, your friend's name.
They change their name quite a bit. You know, they're a gnome. They're weird, an eclectic sort. They might be in there as Poshment,
Parchment.
little strange gnome, weird hat,
Little gnome, weird hat,
weird
little
goggles.
weird glasses. Yes,
Yes.
she's in room 5.
I thought you were gonna fall asleep.
All right. Is she in right now?
Maybe. I don't pay attention. She
Okay.
paid me for the week.
All right.
Other than that, don't care.
Okay. I turn to my 3 new children. I hand them a set of marbles and a tennis ball, and tell them go to the oh God, what's the palace that we're staying in?
The what?
What's
The
the
palace?
what's the place that we're staying in?
The palace?
The palace.
You're gonna send them to the
Okay,
palace?
yeah. Tell them to go. I tell them to go to the palace, and tell them that Kasumi Mikoto sent them to await here to be adopted.
That's a great idea.
They're probably gonna turn us away at the palace.
Yes, they don't like
Okay, fine.
factions in the palace.
Just hang out around
Yes,
here
it's
and don't get into
against
trouble
traditions.
until I get back.
All right. Don't get into trouble, she says.
This better not be some kind of trick to
Oh.
get out of adopting us.
All 3 of them get
No.
arrested.
That would be sad. But in keeping with our lives up until this point.
It would.
Anyway, you
Sounds. I'm going to adopt these orphans.
by all means.
They can crew your
You
bone
don't want to
ship.
talk to Tatsu about this first?
They're
Maybe
they're
he's not
going.
ready.
They're gonna. Well, I mean, Tatsu doesn't have to play a part. He can just get over it.
Um,
I made a promise. As an orphan myself.
Oh boy.
okay.
Okay.
No, fine. Raise your 3 Minotaur children on your bone ship.
Man, Kasumi's taken a wild turn these last sessions.
Yeah.
It's great.
Well, this might be like the thing that makes her start being a good person again, having to care for these urchins.
Oh,
doubt it.
oh man. Through the love of my Minotaur children, I've become a more wholesome person.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Wouldn't it?
Nice.
Anyway, you continue. You proceed through the gloomy boarding house and go past room 1. It's closed. Room 2. The door is actually ajar, sort of off its hinges. There's a dead body in the bed, and oh no, he's just sleeping. Don't worry. You see him breathe. But otherwise, it's just piles of trash. It's not well kept here. The hallway is dark, and eventually you find your way in front of room 5. The door is slightly open. What do you do?
I fucking kick the door open.
The door well, actually, no. Make a strength check.
Wait,
I mean, it's not.
It's an open door.
You blast
Yeah,
it's an-
true.
You blast with water instead?
That may fine. No, I've committed.
Okay, the door swings open, and you find a room thoroughly ransacked, and a ramshackle room thoroughly ransacked.
There you go. Got it in 3.
Papers are just all over the place. The dresser has been torn open, and it looks like some clothes were actually forgotten. There is an area on a table that had just been looked like it was cleared off of, like someone just took an arm and just threw everything that was on it into a bag, just with a sweep. But there's no one inside.
Hmm.
There is roll perception, rather.
You sure you don't want diplomacy?
You try to reason with the room.
Yes.
Kasumi, you see a note on the ground.
Okay, I read the note.
Don't trust the urchins.
Kasumi, I presume this is you reading this, you wonderful specimen, you. Know that I had planned for my plan to fail because I am a genius and have thoroughly outsmarted you once again. I've already escaped. By the time you're reading this, I'll be on a boat to Viven to prepare my next plot to capture you, Kasumi, and see what makes you tick. All your little bits of it.
Ew, this is a horrible man.
Woman.
Woman.
Yes. This is not the last time you have heard the name Parchment Sneaker Beaker Kasumi, nor will it be the first, because we have met before, and that wouldn't make any sense. Ignore that last line. This is Parchment Sneaker Beaker. Yours sincerely, signing off.
Ugh.
P.S. Ha 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 ha.
Ugh.
Nice.
Well, I'm
You
going to Viven
also-
anyways. Huh? Yeah.
You also see something hanging out of Parchment's bureau.
Pocket. Oh shit, she's there. What?
What is
No,
it?
her bureau. It is something shiny.
I look at the shiny thing.
Right,
It's a gun and it shoots you. Ah!
It appears to be a potion bottle, a filter of some sort, a crystalline container with a crystal stopper. Within is a liquid that is clear, but as you hold it up to the light, it seems to catch the light strangely, as it too was also crystal, but obviously it's liquid, so it'd be difficult for it to be.
Okay, so the adventurer in me says drink it, but no, I will take it with me and have it analyzed back at the lab.
Get it? Yeah. Get an expert on it.
That's definitely a bad idea, and I'm sorry that you took that you decided that.
Yes.
That reminds me, I still have that stuff.
Oh
from
yeah,
that
you
alchemy
still
lab.
all you have the Polonius worshipping wizards
Stuff.
goop.
Wiles.
Just a lot of bad words. This
Yeah,
session.
goop. Goop is a good word. Good woody sort of word.
Ugh.
Is it?
Yes, unlike
Okay.
vile. It's tinny. Anyway, so Kasumi, you return to your urchins. Your
Origins.
Your
Yes.
urchins. Your
Your
urchins.
origins.
They are
Orphans.
happy to see you return.
Does
All
this
right.
mean we're going to be adopted?
Yeah,
I didn't believe it was true.
you're good.
We
You're
might
gonna
be
be.
able to afford the right accents.
Oh, the tears.
This,
They all grab you in a hug. It's nice, except they're kind of strong, so
I
they're
roll a
actually.
sleight of hand for my urchin.
I can't believe Brandoon would betray me like this.
This is Rick Dune.
This is right, yeah.
Shit.
You know.
God, you don't even know your own children.
Yeah.
No, we don't. Not really yet.
Yeah, Rick Dune. Well,
Oh,
well,
well.
Dunes takes your wallet.
So
Kasumi,
do I
roll
need to
perception. Yeah,
Wait, that's knowledge religion. Shit.
yeah, that's close for no
That's
cigar there.
Damn it.
You
You
baptized them.
see Rick Dune reaching for your coin purse.
Oh, Rick, dude, you scamp, and then I wrestle his hair.
Oh, yes. It's totally innocent.
Wait,
That was
He says-
that was
that one.
Oh, wait.
What was that?
That was-
One.
Oh, I'm getting confused now.
We're not a hive mind of orphans.
Surely. Do not
Only
examine.
one in the orphan hive.
Anyway,
There's worse things in the Twin Kingdoms than race relations.
now I need some sort of pog for young minotaurs.
Dirty.
Hey,
Well, no,
Dave,
I'm hoping they'll take a
can you
shower.
draw Minotaur orphans? Like little orphan Minotaur kids? She has not responded. I can only assume that she is very excited.
Anyway,
So,
So-
yeah, we'll go back to the
Kusumi,
embassy.
you go back to the palace, and the rest of the
Palace,
party
yeah.
had also been going back to the palace.
Is that where
wait, no,
Mario
you were
is?
taking
Yeah, we're going to see
taking
Mario.
You bring Bulger to the villa that Mario is renting whilst he is staying in the Twin Kingdoms in the noble district of the Upper Kingdom. A rap upon the door finds a dwarf servant opening it. Seeing Cesare, goes, "Ah, you must be Master Sensei's uncle. I was told to expect you. Please come in." He opens the door wider and leads you inside.
I do.
You are led through the stone halls into a comfortable sitting room. There are a number of sort of cushy, round chairs in the Minotaur style, which you're able to sit down. Bulger goes to sit down in one. I don't know if you let him.
Push the chair out from behind him.
He sits down on the floor and goes, "Ah, my foot, my butt,
My foot, my butt.
my foot,
He
my
hurt-
butt."
He
My
hurt
butt
his foot and his butt.
And after a minute or so, Mario walks in and goes, "Ah, you have retrieved Bulger, and I notice he is in fetters."
Yes.
Yeah, he
Time to talk,
betrayed
Bulger.
us.
Bulger, I had hoped that you had been kidnapped, but now I see that it is betrayal. This is most unfortunate.
Treason.
Well, I am the Senate.
Ah,
So, who, Bulger? Who would you sell me out to? I'm not going to tell you anything. I'm a professional. I have a sneer. See my professional sneer? Nah. And he sneers at you, all dismissively.
check out this sneer, and I sneer at him. Not very well.
It's an amateur sneer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sneer and 2 cents will get you on the subway.
There's a subway here?
No, that's what we call the underroads. Subway. Get it? Because they're underneath.
It's a way under the road. I get it.
I don't get it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's a subway?
Well, you're not so intimidating.
That's
Yeah,
why.
just
That's why I
a
hire people.
Girl in a dress.
Bulger, we're going to kill you if you don't tell us what you
Oh shit.
told.
Okay. Well, my contact is already gone. They're on a boat going back to Viven, and well, I don't think I like that too much.
No, that's not good.
Underestimated.
I'm not a fan of that.
That's definitely not Rick Doom.
No,
No.
Let me just look here. I stepped out.
not Brandon either.
I
Might be
see.
one.
Why is it
that's
so
def-
hairless?
that's definitely a
Why?
baby minotaur.
Why does it have to be hairless?
I don't know. I just found it and I love it. There's another one.
I
It's
don't want to
hypoallergenic that way.
see.
They're like Minotaur goblins.
Oh.
I'm not a fan of that design. Anyway, where were we? Yes. I'm sorry. The boat is on its way, and I told them that Mario Sensi was looking to meet with his uncle, who is a pirate, and that they were meeting, and that they're in the palace. Except for you, Mario, you're here.
And who was it?
I'm not gonna tell you my employer. I have this professional sneer still, and I'm gonna keep it with me. And okay,
Uh-huh.
it was one of them Aneben types.
Wait, what?
A Neben?
Yeah, the ones with the P. I can't pronounce their names.
Fratazas.
Yeah, that's it.
Like the
That's
Fratazas paid you?
Yeah.
What?
Guess we gotta burn down all the Fatazos.
Hmm.
Mm.
Is that all we need from him?
That's literally all I know. They don't tell me anything. They just get information from me.
Hmm.
But yeah, they're the ones who hire Anebans in the high up places. The rest of you Vivanese only hire humans.
Yeah, I
Racist.
sense motive. Let's see if he's lying.
He gives you no particular indication that he is telling you falsehoods.
So do we kill him now?
You could also let me
No.
go because I'm cooperating.
No, not that one either.
Oh.
Cut his foot off?
No.
His hand?
If I may interject, has he broken any laws? Because I'd hate to come under investigation from the local authorities for abusing one of their citizens.
He's trespassing on your property.
Well,
He was brought inside.
It's debatable.
I guess we should just let him go then. But no, if you do anything else, Sue has a really big sword. She wants to cut you in half.
It's big.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it there. It is
Yeah,
large.
imagine that coming down on you.
Yep, I am.
Yeah. Think about that when you go to sleep tonight. Be happy when you wake up the next day.
Yeah.
All right. Capiche?
Can I go now?
Nah.
What? Oh.
When we leave, then you can leave.
Okay. Can you take the fetters off then?
The what?
The manacles.
shackles we have him in.
I don't
Oh,
think
thought
there's
he said-
anything else we need him for, so we might as well let him go.
I thought he said feathers for a second there. I'm like, did we?
Nope,
Okay.
he didn't say that.
We could. We could tar and feather him.
I'd prefer if you didn't.
We won't.
Most people do.
Anyways,
Yeah.
I guess we take it off.
As soon as the shackles are off, he Actually, doesn't really do very much at all because he realizes that if he just tried to run, he'd probably be beaten down in seconds. So he's just sort of still sitting there in his seat.
Well, okay. If we're not gonna kill him, then we're done here, right?
Yeah,
Um,
let's kick him out. Throw him out the house, DJ Jazzy Jeff style, like Uncle Phil.
who wants to jettison Bulger from the house?
I will.
Saru,
jettison
yeah,
Bulger
Saru
from
has
the house.
has the most strength, so she can get the
All
most
right.
distance.
Saru, roll a strength check.
I will do that.
You may rage if you're so inclined.
Sure.
That sounds
May
like
as
a
well.
good time.
Just throw him against the wall extremely angrily.
You throw him so hard against the wall, he disintegrates.
Okay, Saru, you lift him up and punt him through the open door as soon as you reach it. And he goes sailing through the air. He actually does about 10 yards of distance, landing in the garden of a manor across the street. There is a womanly scream as he lands beyond your eyesight behind the fence, and also a bunch of birds go flying. You also hear the sound of a female minotaur going, "How dare you!" and the sound of someone being beaten.
She's trespassing again.
Is this like a Rocko's Modern Life reference? How dare you?
I was angrier than that. But yes, you have learned the identity of Bulger's employer.
Yes.
No,
As
Well,
we
that's not good.
least expect it.
Mm,
The Tazos have betrayed us. Or have they?
Well, let's find out what's going on.
it's a little confused. All of the 5 families spy upon each other. It's simply a matter of life in Hightown. But I'm not sure. Perhaps I accidentally hired one of Rodrigo's agents without realizing it naturally, or perhaps he betrayed me afterwards.
Hmm.
You travel with Pascal. Did he mention anything about this Bulgar? Perhaps he knew something
He
about
did
it.
not.
Mm. Well,
Well, actually, I look at Pow.
No, what? If he'd said something to me, you would know about it.
Okay.
It's kind of serious business.
Seduce him then.
Well, I guess we should decide. Do we tell Pascal about this or do we not?
I don't know.
that
I
I'll
mean-
leave up to you. He is your companion.
I mean, it feels like it's one of those things that's probably going to be brought up. Might as well get the awkwardness out of the way. Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yep.
Chazari, you know high family business.
It
What do
is
you
odd to
think?
hear that the Fetazos are spying on us, especially since they funded this expedition.
I mean, you know him better than anyone, pal. What do you think would happen if we told him?
I don't know, but telling him, I don't know, would it get in the way of a proper investigation?
Well, this is the thing. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I didn't think Pascal had much to do with his family's business.
No,
Oh,
he did
not really.
At least when we left. He is slowly getting more involved. In fact, he has opened up a foreign quarter in
Oh, really? Oh, nice for him.
Cerubu, and he is starting to put more of his head towards that aspect of the family. So for all I know, perhaps they've been communicating about this.
Whoa.
Oh, what the heck is that, Jake? What are you?
Oh.
Are you eating static?
What? I wasn't
Your
mic
doing that.
just got
your
very
mic is
staticky.
getting some.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Is it still doing it?
Ooh.
A bit. Oh, it's
Well,
gone.
now it's not. You're good.
Oh.
Oh, now you're not.
No.
I'm sorry. I need a new headset very badly.
Oh.
Mhm.
It must be those orphans. playing
Yep.
with his microphone.
Okay.
Staticky orphans.
Yep,
Um.
a classic.
Well,
It's good.
as Burger said, the agent he is supposed to report to has already left. Rodrigo is going to know regardless unless we can catch up to their ship. Whether or not Rodrigo knowing that I am trying to contact you is a good or bad thing is up in the air. We have never, our family has never been an enemy of the Fatazos, but what's going on with us at this time isn't anything I'd prefer anyone to know, really. I am unsure as to how to proceed.
From what I understand, so all he reported is that you are meeting with me. Is this not correct?
As far as I know, yes.
What possible value could that have to the Fitazos?
It depends on how much they know about what is already going on inside of our family. If Rodrigo anticipates Luella is attempting some sort of whatever she is planning against the Morosinis, if he knows that I am reaching out to you and he knows that you have accrued a not inconsiderable amount of power, well, that was information that he could potentially use. Whether or not he tells the Morosinis, that would seem to me the largest issue. But then again,
It
the
seems
Fatazos
foolish
have
to
never
do
been a...
something like that when we have his brother in our custody.
That
Custody,
is
the
true.
wrong use of the phrase, but you know what I mean.
That is true. It would not make sense for him to move against us openly. I don't see very much gain for him in moving against us at all, unless it is simply to preserve the peaceful status quo in Hightown.
Could this just be the Morosinis being clever? Simply told the man that he's reporting to the Fetazo, but really is I mean, he doesn't actually know his handler.
That's true, except that he said that his handler was an Eben. So.
I mean, there's plenty of poor Anebans.
They are true. Mario sort of awkwardly looks at Paulina at this and immediately stops. Yes, well, as I said, I thank you all for assisting me in retrieving Bulg. Oh, were you able to also find Iga?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, good. Is she all right?
Yep.
Yes.
Is she at least loyal?
Yeah.
Yes.
Bulger tied her up and stuck her in a cabinet, but we found her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no. Well, I suppose there are worse things. At least he didn't do anything worse than that.
Yes. This is true.
What do you know about the Lance breaks?
Noble family here. Well, as wealthy, I'm not exactly sure how, except that they have money and therefore influence with the crown. It could simply be that they own lands that are tended and accrue wealth off of that. I've only met them once or twice. They are, there's only two of them, I believe. They're husband and wife. Large people.
Yes.
They collect things. I spoke with the wife about their habits. They try to collect Old God relics from the Triac,
Right.
Pantheon, and all of those. Why?
Well, apparently they're going to be putting some kind of doom onto the planet.
Oh, well,
Yeah, you hate to see it.
There was some weird old man who told us that, though. So
Well,
Yeah.
no, it was. I mean, it was Chester. So that's.
Chester,
Yeah, you know the playwright.
Serpent Tongue.
Yes.
I believe. Oh my God, it's a Minotaur orphan.
What?
It's
Minotaur
good.
orphan.
Thank you, Amy.
He does look sad enough, thank you.
Yeah.
Also, Sal said thank
Oh,
you.
he's so sad.
Super sad.
Nuva said, "Oh, he's so sad."
But soon he'll be happy.
But soon he'll be happy, says Sals.
I will start beginning to throw him off of areas.
Oh.
Akio.
You should
You
start
will
with the
become
boat.
an excellent acrobat.
But yes.
So that picture of the 3D Minotaur is horrifying. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
No, it's not good. Okay, and where was I? What was I just talking about?
He was describing the lance breaks, and we told him about how they're gonna do crimes.
Oh, right. Are you going to
Gonna do
try
bad
and
things.
stop them?
Maybe.
Yeah,
Don't you?
Probably.
probably.
I don't think
hate
it's
to
for the
see,
best.
like- I mean, aren't there police?
Well,
Like,
yes, but if you go to the city guard or something and say,
about the lance breaks is true. They would probably say you're under arrest or something.
probably not that far, but I don't think they take you especially seriously.
Is that the last thing we have to do here, other than talking about the whole race relations situation
Pretty much, I think.
and wherever Kasumi is?
I think
Yeah, and
she's
we also have to figure out where Kasumi is.
Well, then I appreciate your help. Thank you, and I am sorry for any inconvenience I may have put you through.
Oh,
Oh no, this has all been. I'm very glad that you reached out to me, and the situation that you've described back home is certainly something that some sort of solution or idea is going to have to
Yes,
be made.
yes, certainly so, and I appreciate your help on that front as well. If you would like, I can serve you some refreshments. I'm afraid I am not quite prepared for entertaining at such short notice. My dear wife is not actually at home right now either, so. But perhaps we could entertain you at a later date, more officially, as a thanks. Before you leave.
No, that would be excellent. I would love to catch up outside of all of this business.
Excellent. It would be my great honor to host my uncle and his most esteemed friends. But thank you again, truly.
Of course.
So you leave?
Yep. Let's go back to the palace, I think.
Alright. Your trip back to the palace is both short and uneventful.
Deadly.
both
You
short
arrive.
and deadly.
Yes, you arrive and find yourself soon comported into the central great room of your various suites, and you find Kasumi there. She is there with 3 young minotaurs.
What are those?
They are
What?
children.
What is this?
me kidnap
Did-
children.
Did you get these children confused with gnomes and take them back?
That would.
No.
I guess that's a stretch.
No, I did not.
So
Okay. So, Hear me out.
No.
They're my children now.
Sorry,
Are
what?
Yeah,
you
we're her
fucking
children.
kidding me?
I
What?
have adopted. Things happened, okay?
Yep, she
It's been
signed
like an
all
hour.
everything.
Okay, so anyways, moving on.
Mummy, I'm
No!
scared of the man. I'm scared of the man who's yelling, Mummy.
So moving on. So Poshman is apparently in Viven now. So gonna have to get there.
Well, not like now. That would take
Are
a
we just?
while.
I'm sorry. Are we just?
Just
what,
saw
huh?
her.
She's on her way.
Wait.
Maybe. Maybe
Well-
she's on the docks. You
She's
don't know.
probably on the docks. You could have probably.
Well,
I
I mean,
don't know.
I don't know. Would you guys have just enjoyed me just dipping and going off to Viven by myself?
No. What?
That's what it sounds like.
You just became a parent and you're already leaving?
No.
Yep.
No to you leaving or no to you being a parent?
No, she's clearly a parent. There's 3 orphans here.
Wait,
well,
wait.
Not
We're
anymore,
not
I
orphans
guess.
anymore.
Hey.
You know what? Never talk back to me
No,
again.
no. Sorry, hang on. Listen. One of them, pretty good lockpick. Or pickpocket, that's the word.
Okay, I mean, they are orphans. That'll be probably useful.
Yeah, you know, I mean,
I would say Minotaur orphans would stand out in Sirugu a little
they're
bit.
they're
but
they're irascible though.
Also,
I mean-
they probably don't speak Hadanese.
We'll
We
teach
do
them.
Speak Hadanese?
Hey, kids their age, this is the prime age for them to learn a language because they
Our
are
brains are sponges.
they are most primed for learning language at a young age. It's why kids can so quickly learn to speak the language of their parents.
How do you know that?
Jesus, learn.
These
So I read a book while I
are
was waiting for you guys.
Urchins. They are taking you for a ride.
I
They're
was an
going
urchin
to get as
once.
much money out of you as possible and then run away.
Oh,
I
remind you of the conversation.
Wait.
what? Hey, that's not part of this conversation right now.
Yeah, no. Patient.
These are my children and I love them.
Yeah.
Okay?
What are their names?
we love her too.
Does anybody mind if I leave this really expensive drink on the table? And I put down
I
some
mean,
black
Children
water.
do not drink it.
No, I have no problem with that.
Their name,
Expensive drink you've left on the table.
their names are Brandun, Rickdun, and One.
What? Oh, so they're not related to each other, clearly, except for these two.
Those
I
are
mean,
only
they
our
are-
first names.
They are
Those
now.
are first names. Yes, we don't have last names on account of being orphans.
I guess you're Makotos now.
Yep, they
Oh,
sure
we
are.
have last names.
I mean, I guess we.
Rickdun Makoto.
I mean, I guess I did lose bet, Boyar.
What?
What
They're
is
not
it?
your
Oh,
children. What
yeah,
are you
I-
talking about?
It's at this point that Pascal and Tatsu actually enter into the room. They seem to
Hey,
be at the
Tatsu.
tail end of a conversation where Pascal is. Tatsu is holding his back as if he had just strained it, and Pascal is apologizing to him at
How's it
length.
going,
They had
bud?
sex.
Oh yeah.
It's less than ideal. Remind me never to work out with Pascal ever.
Great. I'm glad you're in a good place for this.
Mummy, is this our dad? Is this our daddy?
Oh my god, it's our daddy.
These giant children.
Kasumi.
How tall are the orphans again?
They're like my height.
No, they're like 5'6", yeah.
I mean, Rickdun jumps onto Tatsu's back to get a piggyback ride.
Holy shit.
There's just a and Tatsu goes, "Ah!" Dead. Flops to the ground.
Okay,
Oh no, I've
all right.
broken daddy.
All right, Rick Boone, get off Dad.
I'm really disappointed in Kasumi.
Kasumi,
Yeah.
Through
Why
pain.
are there a bunch of Minotaur children calling me dad?
We're going to become spies and assassins. That's what Kasumi told us, our mom.
Wow.
We're
Okay,
going
look,
to
Christ.
steal
look,
and
look.
spy and stab people.
No,
Well,
What?
I'm good at just.
Sumi, you can't
That's-
raise a bunch of orphans to steal and spy and stab people.
That's
no,
not.
no,
I,
no,
It's
no,
going
no,
to
no.
teach us the subtle arts.
The
No,
subtle
no, no.
arts. We're going to learn a new language and then we'll kill.
No.
That's not what I taught them at all. Also, you have no input on this, Akio. You want to throw them off buildings.
Yes,
I'm with
Yeah,
him on
full
that.
stop.
Building.
but if we're gonna teach them murder too,
I'm not going to teach them murder.
what? Mm?
Why? Why would I do that?
Why would you adopt 3 random minotaurs?
Because I'm an orphan too, Tatsu. I saw them in myself.
That wasn't me.
Myself
That
Yeah,
was
Tatsu.
Suru, but thank you.
Sewer, whatever. I'm getting flustered. Okay.
Is it because they're made of water too? Like,
When you hired me, you were a cold, analytical military mind. And now,
And I still
This.
am.
okay.
I still will kill without hesitation.
No,
Well-
Kasumi,
And
that's
we
not
will
what
too.
she means. No! Kasumi, I know you have these things where you're placid and then you're stormy. I get that. It's the whole elemental thing. I have that too. I have
You're fiery,
emotional...
and then you're fiery, and then you're fiery, and then you're fiery.
And then you burn out and die.
Mark.
I get very emotional too. I just realize that is part of my nature and I keep a clamp on it. And I think in this situation, you may not have kept your clamp on.
Well, what do you want me to do? Just like kick them out?
No.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Did you, like, officially unorphan them?
What?
Oh, so if I didn't, you want me to just like return them like a fucking like a
No,
gerbil
but-
at the store, huh?
Maybe you could have found a better place for them than the household of a rebel general who travels constantly and is in, like, danger every other day.
You
I mean,
know,
we're
you
not
can't.
really rebels
in
anymore.
Kingdom Building, there is an orphanage building.
Oh.
I mean, hey, the kids will grow experience and become cohorts.
I mean, are you just going to adopt every orphan that you see?
No.
So these 3 were special.
Yes. Look at me.
Sure.
This
I don't know
one
what you
kid-
want me to say. Yes, I'm gonna go kick the orphans back home.
No,
But wait, they don't have one.
no, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
Mm,
Let us. This is all very fresh in our minds.
And hey, Suru, you can teach them to be like powerful warriors.
They can be powerful warriors. We've got other business to attend to.
No, my kids are not going to be powerful warriors. I'm going to teach them how to cook, and that's it.
Oh, your kids.
You're planning on turning them into assassins.
I was not.
They just said that.
I never even mentioned it.
Should we leave these two to
You know,
discuss their
I'm sure there's a
3 new children?
Hey,
I'm sure we can ask Queen Dorna for a good orphanage. We can put these in.
hey, kids. Kids?
Cesare walks up to the 3 orphans. Is like, "Come with Grandpa Cesare. Mama and Papa have to have an argument."
You yelled at us before.
Yeah, and I'll yell at you again. Now come with me.
Oh
no,
Hey.
it's the mean grandparent.
No. Hey, kids.
Do you want to see
Hang
a
on.
cool gun, kids?
You want to
I-
hold the cool gun?
Don't
you guys
worry, if
know
you shoot
this is
yourself, you
Monty
won't
Powell?
die because it's a gun and they're useless.
They shoot themselves in the head
Oh.
immediately and are fine.
Oh my gosh.
They're fine.
Natural 20.
I mean, that would be 48 damage. They would not be fine.
Okay.
We should see. Give it a chance.
Anyway. So yes, you successfully meet up with... Oh my god. Pascal sidles up to you, Paulina, and goes, "So you feeling better?"
Oh, like my whole gut zone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
Got
I
in a
still
good
don't want to eat anything. Until
No.
like next week, though.
Yeah, you don't have to. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's true.
I have to eat something, and I'm not looking forward to it.
Well, maybe don't eat anything until you are looking forward to it. I'm just saying you ate like 2 days worth of food at once.
Don't monks have like an ability to just not eat or something?
You would think so.
Sometimes.
Like
Can't
purity
get
of
sick,
body
though.
or
Depends on the
power.
monk.
Can't get sick. That's purity of body, I think, or something like that.
I
Yeah,
think it's 5e monks that get past not having to eat anymore.
probably. They get
So,
cool
did you
shit.
guys successfully find out what was going on with Mario?
No.
Oh,
Yeah, I guess not.
okay. Well, are you gonna?
Dead end.
Oh, that sucks.
Hey, you know what's a good way to go and figure this all out?
Roll bluff,
Okay.
Cesare.
Is there
Just
some way I
because.
can communicate that I think we should trust him and tell him?
Did I
Words,
do it?
yes, but you could also use bluff to pass secret messages.
Ooh,
That's
that
true.
sounds very hard.
I don't think I'm very good at passing secret messages.
Sir winks very loudly.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Well, if you want to try right now, it's a good time.
Sure. Bluff. -2. There it is.
Might roll good.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Suru, do you have like something in your eye? You're blinking a lot there.
Yes, we had to have a fight in a tavern. It was very dusty, and we're all
I just
still getting
have
over it for a little while.
The one
but
eye, you know?
One
You don't
eye,
need to
the
draw
dust.
attention to it. I get it. Right?
I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Hey,
Mhm.
Sal, do we bring the cohorts with us?
So he's
To
just
the
rolling bluff constantly to
I'm just
prove
curious.
he can do it.
to the inn or where?
Well,
To the palace. I
Sal's
guess.
asked me
You know, I
earlier,
know we have,
so if he wants me to roll bluff, I'll
I know
do
we have
it.
Shinichi and Frisket with us. Do we bring Mino and Marco?
I believe Mino and Marco had stayed at the ship.
Okay. I was just curious.
It's a good thing to be curious about.
Pascal, have you been in communication with your brother recently?
A couple times. I wrote to him about the sword, and I wrote to him back about going back to Viven.
Going back to Viven? How soon is that? You didn't speak about anything else?
Nothing.
Besides, I don't know, idle pleasantries.
Well, I mean, it's not idle pleasantries. I'm asking about my family.
That's fair.
My sister is in.
Damn.
Neither of you have any particular inkling that Pascal is lying about this. My sister's did her trip back to Viven from Caballera. She does that every year. Actually, that leaves about a month. So I think she might actually. Well, it depends. I wrote back saying that maybe if she could wait for me because I knew that we might be traveling back there. But
okay, that's good. Thank you.
Okay.
He's been with you guys as long as I've been with you guys. Probably a lot
aware.
longer.
Yeah. What's
She
that
just
about?
puts- She just puts palms
Kazari's
up.
lying to you.
Oh.
I'm not lying
What?
to you. I'm just
Yes.
trying to figure
We
out
found
where
we found
you
out what
stand.
happened. It wasn't the Morosinis. It was your family that hired the dwarf.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, apparently the Fatazos are spying on us.
Well.
Or Trizari.
Okay.
Or Mario.
Or
I mean,
Mario.
that last one is the one that makes sense. Like, the 5 families spy on each other all the time. This isn't especially surprising. Mario might have just, like, hired one of Rodrigo's agents.
That's what he said.
Did you ask the dwarf how long he'd been working for my family?
No.
Nope. Forgot that part.
Well, that might have been good to know because if like the Fatazos sought him out to like betray Mario, or if he had already been working for them and just Mario got unlucky.
Hey, 3 street urchins. Do you have like a network of urchins in an underground society who could find a dwarf for us?
We're orphans, not MI6.
I just lived in the gutter.
What's MI6?
There's not some like Fagin-esque character that.
No, not in this city.
There's not a king of the urchins.
Afraid not.
There's no King of the Labyrinth?
I don't know. Should I just, I don't know, get them into a nice
Bag.
school?
Yes.
Oh, school.
Boarding school.
No, we don't trust the government.
I was gonna
You
say,
adopted us and now you're going to abandon us.
well, no,
we are the government, so.
I'm still going to adopt you. I'm just going to enroll you in a nice Ardanian school where you're,
The
acting
system is
appropriate.
broken.
Where the hell is Ardania?
We're going to Ardania.
I don't know
I'm
where
looking
Ardania
forward
is.
to learning Hadanese.
Excluding
I
the
love
fa-
reading all of the Hadanese books.
I
You'll
was
still
hoping
learn
to
Hadanese.
finally have my own accent.
God, everybody's peer pressuring me to do every which way with
Ex-
these kids.
Excluding the fact that we are the government, as Sada has pointed out, how old are these kids?
20.
I'm,
Yeah, 27.
I'm
Collectively.
12.
12?
I'm probably 7.
Doesn't know how to count.
I'm
These
I know how to count.
quarters.
And this one confuses me. Alright. So I'm
Almost
gonna say
10.
they're collectively 12. Alright.
No, that's not
I
even.
think you're the one who doesn't know how to count, buddy.
damn,
You should
get
keep
decked.
them.
I
You should
never
keep them.
learned how to do averages, but I don't think that's right.
You're right, kid. I like the cut of your jib. You should
I
keep
don't
them.
know what a chip is.
You'll learn.
Let's. Okay.
Do you cut jibs often?
What?
So, how's Brisket doing?
Yeah.
Brisket has been there the entire time, leaning on his staff, looking at you with sort of that confused puppy look, with one of his eyebrows raised and just going, "What the hell are these service worlders doing?"
I feel like Brisket has unfortunately been overshadowed by these.
Hey, what's this guy?
Nobody.
He's the Skitterkin.
What's this tiny hairy man?
Can you send them to their rooms or something? Maybe.
I am
you know,
Lawkeeper
All
Viscid.
right, kids, go hang out in this room over here for a while.
What's in
Yeah.
the room?
Lorekeeper Brisket offers Tatsu. He's gonna teach you how to read Hadanese because he just learned himself.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Oh, that sounds like a
The
good
one
idea.
thing I love more than anything is learning and higher education.
Oh boy, something that's been denied to us for our whole lives.
Tell
Right.
me, Uncle Brisket, what is the secret of algebra?
Well, you need to find X. Why am I talking in this accent? Oh my god, it's contagious. Alright, follow me. We need to solve for X.
I closed the door.
Yay!
All right.
Put
Well.
a chair under the handle.
Light a match.
Man, harsh.
Okay. Anyway, well, that's not something I expected to happen this session, but I'm glad it did. So, you have a dwarf king to interact with. Is there anything you would like to do to prepare?
Is there any etiquette we need?
You
know, like
do
I-
another one of them etiquette montages.
Like a bow or something?
Yeah, what's gonna be a problem? Like, I don't want to make some kind of faux pas, which I will probably do.
Yeah, who's going to be at the council?
Me.
No, I mean not on our side. We know who's going to be there, but in terms of well,
The king, the new crowned prince.
the new crown prince isn't the dick bag, right?
Yes, he is the younger
He's
prince.
a good prince.
Okay.
Or is he?
He's a prince. And the queen is going to be there.
Okay.
Her,
Dorna.
yes, Queen Dorna is going to be there. Her prince consort will not be there. So it's actually probably just going to be Dorna, some higher up minotaurs, important ones, some higher up dwarves, wealthy ones.
Lance breakers?
Possibly.
Okay. And as far as kind of what we know about attitudes, is it loosely like Dorna is sympathetic to what we're saying?
Yes.
And the dwarves are likely not because they hate the Skitterkin.
They are not fans of Skitterkin.
What have we?
Especially the older dwarves like the king.
What has Dorna discussed with her for her plan here?
With you?
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I don't remember. Dorna, I did speak to you, and she is arranging the meeting, but her primary thing was was making sure that it didn't get out to the dwarves beforehand that there was a Skitterkin about, and that this meeting was about reconciliation.
How ancient of an enmity is this? I don't really have a good sense of the scale.
Ancient.
Well, I actually have to look up on the wiki. But it's been going for a while.
I don't think that the dwarves of the Twin Kingdom have been fighting them for a long time. Probably.
Because the dwarf ruins we found were very different from these dwarves.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
But these dwarves are also dealing with Skitterkin. And how long ago and for how long? I don't know.
We don't know if they are
the
anymore.
Wars in the Dark began before the origin of the Skitterkin. Against goblins, which was the beginning of the end for the whole world-spanning Hargarneth kingdom. Then the Skitterkin got involved and put the final nail in that coffin. The Skitterkin have been involved for over 3,000 years at this point.
Dang.
So they've been around for a while, and dwarves and Skitterkin have hated each other for a while.
They both eat rocks.
Neither of them eat rocks.
What?
Somebody's got to eat rocks.
The Rockbite clan eats rocks.
Ah, okay.
Do we have any knowledge about the specific history of like
rock eating?
Have there been any wars against the Skitterkin or fighting against the Skitterkin in the Twin Kingdoms history?
That would be a good question. You could try rolling knowledge history, see if you can't root anything out from your own brains. Perhaps investigating with the.
I checked the Royal Library.
Paulina, I am.
I have done no research on this topic.
Yes, Paulina, you have no idea whatsoever.
Iago, go.
I don't think I even have this.
Iago, why do you keep rolling so low when you're supposed to be good at knowledge checks?
That's a knowledge nature. That won't help you here.
Yes, Kasumi, I appreciate the attempt.
I don't think I've even got this.
No.
Is it just not here?
No, it's in your background.
Yes, and but knowledge is something you can only roll if you put ranks into it. So.
Nope, don't have it then. Still gonna roll. There you go.
All right. Kasumi.
That's not what help.
profession soldier actually could help, in that military history is sort of tangentially related to that. But Kasumi, your soldiering nature, your soldiering history, is more related to modern and human forms of combat, and due to the nature of the war in the dark, for a surface worlder, there is no like famous battles of the wars in the dark available to surface worlders because they're not famous. They're very. This is a fight between dwarfs, goblins, and skitterkin that
Would
has been going
Durna
on for thousands of years, but
So we
are
gotta find a goblin.
well, would Durna have access to like a lore keeper kind of person that she would allow us to speak with?
very likely.
Okay, well,
That'd be good.
could we do so? Find a lore
All right.
keeper.
Your summons to Durna rather, or not summons, but your request to Durna is relayed, and soon, at about 8 o'clock in the evening, after dinner has been served, uh, there's a knock at the door of your common room, and in steps a palace guard. You recognize it as the one that had led you through the labyrinth, Adradan.
The grumpy one.
No, Adradan's the chill one.
This is great.
Great is the grumpy one.
Oh yeah, great.
Great. No, excuse me. Adradan sort of steps in and allows to wander in a dwarf.
Ah,
He's sort of old. He's sort of old.
Fresket
Yeah.
is still in the room with the.
Brisket is still in the room with the kids at this
All right.
time.
Oh my god.
They're becoming super geniuses.
Can we get a camera and a pan to that?
No.
Please don't.
The dwarf is an older man. He has a great big beard that trails down to the point that he has wrapped it around his waist and
Nice.
Like a sweatshirt?
like a belt more.
Like a
And sort of tied it
like
at
a
the
sash.
Yeah.
Yes. So that it sort of cinches in his robes. He's wearing light blue robes with some jewelry and a pair of fairly nice looking brooches that both have a scroll upon them. I
See.
am Goldmick,
Hey, Goldmick.
the historian.
Nice to meet you.
Greetings, Goldmick the historian. Did
I am told that you have questions for me.
Yeah,
we
we
do?
were interested in learning more about the War in the Dark.
Right, and specifically the Twin Kingdoms' involvement in any engagements with in the War of the Dark, our continuing skirmishes, our battles ongoing.
Well, of course, the Twin Kingdoms have not always been the Twin Kingdoms, and in fact have only been such for a little over a century now. Right? Not messing it up. Good. For a little over a century now, the previous kingdom of Iron Peak, the sole dwarf kingdom, did fight wars in the dark against the foul goblins and ratkin. They, as all dwarf holds, suffered. And when our connection to Hargarneth was severed, we knew ourselves to be independent, as we could no longer walk there beneath the earth as we once did.
many outlying holds beneath the earth, unseen, where dwarfs passed entire lives without seeing the sun, fell to our enemies in those times. The last great route to Hargarneth. The road beneath the shallowed waters fell as recently as a millennia ago.
When you say fell, do you mean it caved in, it collapsed, or it's simply taken over by goblins?
The
Skitterkin?
Skitterkin came from the depths through our own minds into the hold of Baragdurzna.
I see.
Of course.
And they did what?
They put its residents to the sword and threatened both the holds of Hargarneth and Iron Peak by traveling along the road beneath the shallowed waters.
So the road still exists, but it is taken, and were you to attempt to travel on it, you would be in a bad way.
Baragdurzna lied between the iron.
Lay.
You don't speak our language.
I guess I don't.
Lay between the Iron Peak and Hargarneth. At the center, at the middle of the road beneath the shallowed waters. With it taken, the road was no longer traversable.
Okay.
And
Baragdurzna is like an outpost slash city on the road beneath the shallowed waters, which is a road that connects Iron Peak, formerly Iron Peak, now the Twin Kingdoms, to Hargarneth. Do I have that correct?
yes,
How long ago was all this?
A millennia ago, they said. Fell as recently as a millennia.
yes. Since then, the Twin King, the Iron Peak, sent 9 expeditions to retake Baragdurzna, as many of its refugees had fled to here, but none were successful.
So the last actual, you're saying Iron Peak sent those out. When was the last expedition?
The last expedition was in the reign of my king, Ironfasten, 41 years ago, where he thought that the combined might of the Twin Kingdoms might be what was needed to retake Baragdurzna finally once and for all, but though gains were initially made, they were not able to progress further than the
What did they
outermost
encounter?
gates.
Are there any
Skitterkin
veterans of this expedition that we
in
could
many
speak
thousands. Oh yes,
Yes.
So wait,
there
there's
are
just
many dwarf veterans, but the Minotaur veterans of those campaigns would be at
this place
very
is
old age.
this is below
Well,
the Twin Kingdoms. Yes.
Baragdurzna, no, it
oh,
is
it's
miles
in the
west.
middle
Okay,
of
miles
the
west.
path of the shallow waters.
Okay.
The road beneath the shallow
Road
waters.
beneath the shallowed waters.
Yes, thank you.
Where is that?
The road beneath the shallowed waters connects Hargarneth and the Twin Kingdoms.
Gonna get the map open.
There's a
Oh,
map.
where's Hargarneth?
Yeah, I don't know where these things are. I gotta look at the map.
Yeah.
There is a dragon-headed shaped peninsula on the west of the 2 big continents
in the lower right-hand corner of the map.
Right, isn't that like one of the places that the Empire was always fighting with?
Yes, that is the High Kingdom of Hargarneth.
Yeah.
And it is a place where, for the last 90 years or so, the Dumadine Empire has been spending a lot of lives and money on trying to take. It has not been very successful.
Oh yeah, is that I
They
remember
took
this.
the foothills, but none of the. They've been besieging the same great hold of the dwarves, which is one of the original dwarf holds. So it's been there for thousands of years without falling. They've been besieging it for a few decades at this point.
The
Just
dragon
firing
is
cannonballs at it, just it's not working.
It's the green one.
Yeah, the green one, right? I remember that.
The forest green one.
Yeah. So a bunch of dwarves left out and then went all the way east to the Twin Kingdoms.
Well,
No,
there's a path underground.
Oh, the path underground.
That probably goes underneath that lake, I guess. Quote unquote Lake C.
To allow to fix it in your mind is beneath the bowl of water that forms the entrance to the great sea of sails.
I see.
I believe the city above it is now known as Viven.
Wait, Viven?
Where is Baravdursna?
Beneath Viven, I just said that.
Beneath Viven specifically, okay. Oh, that's fun.
Wait, what?
That's
Hey.
Uh-huh.
So you're saying there's a
There's an
dwarf hold
underground Skitterkin city underneath Viven.
Yeah.
Used to be dwarven and got taken over. It's called Baravdursna, on the road beneath the shallowed waters that used to connect Hargarneth to the Kingdom of Iron Peak, which is now the Twin Kingdoms.
Yes.
Which has been the Twin Kingdoms about for a century now. The last expedition was 41 years ago. Are there any veterans of this expedition that we could speak to? Yes. Can we speak with them?
It would take me some time to perhaps arrange for such a meeting. When would you need to
Could you
speak?
just give us some names and we could knock on some doors?
They would live in the lower kingdom, and from what I've been told, you cannot. But I can check if there are any Minotaur veterans.
Okay.
Perhaps.
That would be good, actually. A Minotaur's perspective would be very valuable.
Allow me to check the books that were brought with me.
Okay.
So the tunnel still stands. Yes.
The tunnel still exists, apparently.
Okay. I figured it would have collapsed by now, but I guess not.
Hey,
Why?
y'all?
It's a dwarven tunnel. They maybe did a good job.
So
turns out the people who live in tunnels pretty good at building tunnels.
What's up, Kasumi?
So Viven, yeah.
Viven.
Oh yeah, we're just gonna go and take over Baravdurs now. Let's go.
Yeah.
Also, actually, I would like to speak to Vriskit and ask him what he knows. I mean, I think in the past he said that he doesn't really know much about other Skitterkin groups or kingdoms or whatever.
Yeah,
but I would be curious if he
thing.
knows anything about Baravdursna.
Well, he is a lore keeper.
He is a lore keeper.
And
so I walk into the door with the three orphans and
Goldmick, the historian, actually does give you a list of a couple names that he believes were veterans of that campaign.
Okay.
That are in the Upper Kingdom, including one who is a dwarf.
Oh, perfect. Let's talk to a Minotaur and a dwarf to get two perspectives.
All right. Vriskit is teaching the children, true to his word, how to speak Hadanese.
Yeah.
Through the lens of the teachings of Emiria. So, A is for all together. B is for being good to each other. C is for the calamity of lightning flying from the sky to smite the unrighteous.
Whoa.
C is my favorite one.
C is a good one.
So
he
looks up to you as you enter. Did I smell a dwarf?
You did? A lore keeper such as yourself.
Oh. How unfortunate that we'd probably have to try and kill each other upon sight.
Probably. By the way, he was talking about the wars in the dark.
Ah,
He informed us about the path connecting the Twin Kingdoms and the Kingdom of Hargarneth. A road beneath the shallowed waters, if you know anything about it. Specifically, there was some fight underneath Viven in a place called Barav Dursna, where the Skitterkin took it over, and now the path is, of course, severed. They're very salty about this. Do you know anything about it?
Pathfinder is not a name I am necessarily familiar with, but
Well,
then before meeting
geographically, are
you,
you familiar with the zone?
uh, having examined your maps, I now know where Viven is. From what I have traced of my own people of Crithelmar's migrations, it may have been there was a much larger group of Skitterkin that had initially progressed from our original creation place at the western fringes of the Thene Empire. But we split off in various different routes beneath the, roots of the world. We traveled further east, continuing to splinter as our numbers grew beyond what the beyond what could be maintained.
When you
as a single
traveled
group.
east, did you travel by this shallowed road?
From what I remember, there was roads that we found, yes, but not so far north. I don't think. I believe we split off further south
I see.
and went beneath the sea. No. Excuse me. We did not go beneath the sea. Ours was the great boat ride in the dark.
What?
The great boat ride in the dark and the road beneath the shallowed waters. What a
My
gift for
people
names.
emerged somewhere, and he pulls out a map of Logos. Around here, he says, and he, with his nail, he sort of circles around the area of Rothalo from caves, and then traveled across the water on boats that we found and definitely did not steal.
No, certainly. Just one of those naturally occurring boats.
Yes, you see.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wild.
They grow from weird shaped plants that look just like docks.
yes. Anyway, we reached the other side and found caves once again in the mountains and traveled east.
I see.
We continued to splinter and splinter until eventually my people reached Crithelmar and found it abandoned. We were fortunate in that we did not have to fight the dwarves for our home.
Was there any evidence for why it was abandoned?
Personally, I think it has something to do with those crystals.
Huh. Well,
In that eventually Skitterkin, who have used too many of them, have gone completely out of their minds, turned
Oh,
into
boy.
great crystalline beasts, and were had to be slain.
That's not
Great.
that would have been
You
good
didn't
to know.
mention that earlier.
that was,
Right.
yeah, that feels like a detail that was kept from us.
Good to know.
Oh, right, you've been using them, but you haven't used a lot of them, so I'm sure you're fine.
Certainly
You're much
not.
larger than us, so your ability to withstand them is probably.
Yeah, that sounds like
commensurate.
science to me.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, your facility with alcohol is greater than ours, so I think it stands to reason that.
Excuse me?
That's right. He's calling us all drunks.
Oh,
No, I think
So-
it's the opposite.
Well,
Yes, you
that
can.
we drink a lot, though.
Or luscious. I see.
Luscious, yes. A much
Yes,
nicer
yes,
term.
that is more accurate.
Okay, but as far as actual knowledge of communication with other Skitterkin branches, divergences, you do not have such a thing.
We are not a monolithic empire, as far as I know, anyway. Crithelma
Right.
is certainly not part of one.
So, is it known at all if your tunnels ever connect with the ones that you left by boat? Whoops.
As far as I can tell, there is a connection going down to wherever this nation is. And he looks at the map,
Caballera.
But
If
the
you guys
exact
are
route,
not one political
Yeah.
nation, how are you all at war with the same race globally?
Racism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually you would think that just because they would live so close together in proximity,
Yeah.
there would have to be some
you
kind
must
of politics.
understand, to
Well, that's
most
what we're trying to
Skitterkin,
get going.
dwarfs
Yeah.
are not. We do not tell most Skitterkin do not know dwarfs as another people. They are like trolls or monsters in the dark. They are things that come upon you with sharp steel and impenetrable armor and burn down your warrens and kill all your children.
Right.
Really?
Rocks.
Because it
They're-
sounds like you stole their home and their boats. That's what I've heard so far.
Well, I mean,
Well,
sure, but they're also like
The boat thing was
being
definitely
pursued
everybody's
and
done
hunted
bad
and
things.
exterminated.
Yeah.
So
Bad things all the time.
Yeah.
I'm just not
Ev-
lying about it.
Yes, there is
Everyone's
some
the
are.
bad guy.
and at this point, it's well, to Vrisket's people, it's less like a memory and more like
a
like a
legend.
fairy tale.
That is true. There are, as I've discovered, no real dwarf holds in proximity to Crithelmar, due to Crithelmar's lying beneath, so remotely under many tunnels that have a tendency to flood due to the ocean on top of them. Our connection is particularly
Strenuous, best.
well,
Gossamer.
okay. Here's the thing: is obviously reconnecting Hargarneth and the Twin Kingdoms would be something of incredible value and importance to them, and if we would be able to find out more about this strange other Skitterkin kingdom that exists in oh god, what was it? Barav Dursna,
Yeah.
and we could somehow negotiate with them as well. I don't know, some kind of agreement that would allow them to pass through. This would be great, but you don't know anything about them. We certainly don't know anything about them, and for all we know, they're awful. They might be terrible. So
That is true. You have had experience with Skitterkin of a less.
yeah, they killed Batbayar.
Yes.
It is strange to think that there's been a whole society of Skitterkin underneath the Ven this whole time.
It is pretty nuts, yeah.
Yeah. I guess nobody really knows because all the water.
As from what I've read, yes, the Viennese people do not do very much mining or digging beneath the earth, so
We don't. I mean,
it's no particular
boat stuff. Okay, well, we should talk to the two veterans real quick to just get an eye of like maybe the Minotaur thinks actually the Skitterkin were pretty chill. I didn't know why we were so messed up about it. Probably not though, because all his friends died in the expedition.
Well, it's getting a little late at night.
Hmm.
The sun has gone down.
It's dark at night. May have heard.
Yes.
Wild.
You could try traveling to their homes.
Yeah, let's be diplomatic and such.
Okay.
Or maybe we intimidate them by summoning them to the palace.
No. They're old.
All right, we'll visit them.
They're old veterans.
Mhm.
Respect your veterans.
Who do you want to go to first?
Maybe we should go see the Minotaur first. There's only one of them, right?
Yes. Well, actually, no. There's a couple Minotaur veterans that.
Oh, there's only one dwarf up here. Yeah.
Yes. There's many dwarf veterans of it, but
Yeah.
there's only one up here, really.
Yeah.
That he was able to find on such short notice.
What Minotaur should we go to? What information do we got?
Sorry, I stepped away for a little bit. What happened with what? Did we come to the old man's house?
Well, I was asking which one you want to visit
Who do
first.
you want to see first?
Oh,
Yeah, we
let's
got a
talk
minotaur and
to-
a dwarf, right?
We got several minotaurs and a dwarf, so I'm wondering
Oh.
what
Well,
information
let's
we
just
have.
talk to dwarf. We'll talk to one dwarf, and then we can take. I guess we'll talk to a minotaur. But let's
Okay.
talk to the.
Right.
Let's talk to the minotaur first. We've been talking to a bunch of dwarves.
I'm tired of dwarves. Want to go back to
I'm
minotaurs.
sick of dwarves.
Um,
Bunch of racist murderers.
all right. Well, the minotaur's name is Miliste Bronzebreak.
Okay.
And she is in an old folks' home.
Ah,
Yes, it is in the. You find it on, technically on the noble tier, but in the labyrinth, so less noble.
of
But
course.
it's a fairly nice little nursing home for minotaurs. You know, you have your older droopy minotaurs in beds or on chairs, sort of just hanging out. It's late, so most of them have gone to sleep. A minotaur whose the top of her head has been shaven walks up to you. She wears pink and blue robes, and her hands are kept folded together such that you can't see them underneath her voluminous sleeves. Greetings.
Excuse me. Hey,
How may I help you this evening?
We are visitors from the palace interested in speaking to one of your guests.
Oh. Well, it is quite late. Most of our patients are currently asleep or preparing for sleep. Would it be possible for you to come back tomorrow?
When
Nope.
is the thing?
The meeting with the king is not late in the day. It is, in fact, about 10 o'clock in the morning.
We will try to take up their time as little as possible. We're looking for somebody who goes by the name of Miliste Bronzebreak.
Ah,
Well, hey, you're lucky.
Well,
She
let
stays
me
up all
see
the
if-
time.
let me see if she is still awake.
She's always playing the Nintendo Switch.
Always playing Wii Bowling 24/7.
If you can beat her in Smash, she'll tell you everything.
After
you
a few
totally beat her in
minutes,
Smash.
the Minotaur priestess comes back and goes, "Please follow me."
Thank you.
She leads you to a into a what looks to be like a sort of cafeteria area. There are a number of tables set up. Another Minotaur, this one a man also with a shaved pate and with the blue and pink robes, is currently wiping down the various tables and chairs with a cloth to prepare them for the next day.
A
Hmm?
thought just occurred to me. It might have made sense for us to just split up and like some people go to
Oh.
the dwarf and some people like because if it's this late and they're old and they're going to sleep, then we don't want to spend a bunch of time and then move all the way to the other person and then they're bedtime already.
True. So, how do you split up if you do that?
I can talk to this. Well, I don't know. Who
I don't know,
wants
we'll
to
go
talk
see
to
the
Salty Dwarf? Okay. I can talk to Miliste.
Okay. Is anybody else splitting up, or?
I don't think it matters where I go. I'll go with Sada anyway.
All right.
Okay. Pao, Kasumi, Akio.
Are we just doing
Akio
the
should
two?
go talk to.
I muted
another
myself.
Minotaur.
Shit. Okay, yeah, I'm joining Sada.
Okay. All right. So it sounds like Cesare is talking to the
I'm
Minotaur
going
alone,
solo.
and
Yep.
the rest
Forgot
of
I was
y'all.
I don't. I'll go with Cesare. I don't
Yeah,
really know if I can break to the table, but
Yeah,
you know.
ditto.
Okay. Well, then the three of you meet Miliste Bronzebreak. She's an old minotaur. She rather wizened looking. She has that sort of old lady waddle. Her face is droopy. Her eyes a little watery. One is a little cataracted. Her horns are sort of yellowed with age, and she wears a sort of the minotaur dress that you had seen previously with the hoops that hold a sort of flowing gown together. Hers is in white, and she is currently playing a solo game of cards of some sort as you approach.
Yeah. I still want some cards.
Yes.
Greetings. Would you happen to be Melisse Bronsbreak?
I am the woman of that name.
Damn.
May I have yours?
My name is Cesare Di Sensi.
Well, very nice to meet you, Cesare Di Sensi. And your two friends?
Oh, I'm Kasumi Makoto. Hi.
Probably Nikhil. Nice to meet you.
What?
Very nice to
Yeah.
meet the both of you.
Polite bow.
Right,
Nod.
Wow. Are there like contraband items in this old person's home that we could have snuck in for her?
I mean,
Damn.
Hot
Probably.
spicy minotaur pepper.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure there are, but that would have been something to think about beforehand.
Do we have one in the bag of holding? Spicy pepper.
Quick. I mean, we did come here to trade all of our spicy peppers, so maybe we've got some.
Ooh.
I mean, you
Some
would know what's in your
samples.
inventory better than I would.
Would
Alright.
we?
Yes.
Yes. You're supposed to track it.
Well,
I mean, but this is like an incidental item. I'm not talking about like, but okay. Um. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I haven't marked in my inventory like treats for old people. It's mostly weapons and scrolls and potions.
Yes,
so.
well.
Here, have a sword.
Here, it's a fucking potion of bull strength. You can
That's probably a good idea.
Hulk out and beat up all these olds in here. We were hoping to speak to you about your time in the service of the military here in the Twin Kingdoms, if it would not be too much to ask of you.
Yes. Captain of the King's first axeman.
X-Men?
I was not. I was a lieutenant, but still,
Wait,
captain was a noble minotaur.
the captain, you're referring to a captain who is a noble minotaur.
Yes, that was not me. I was a mere
lieutenant.
corporal.
Oh, corporal.
Yes. I
Uh,
was a sergeant at arms, though.
What specifically brought about his name to you? What is it about the memory that immediately brought him to mind when I asked?
It was when he took his axe and dove into a horde of the rat men and swung it all about, felling dozens of them at once. It was a fight to behold, and we all piled in after him, and we smashed that Ratman vanguard to bits, what with our big axes. And they had armor. It was rat armor, but it was armor. And with their shoddy spears, they couldn't withstand us. And eventually they broke and ran. And that's how we gained control of the first gateworks.
You gained control of the first gateworks, but obviously the expedition in the end returned unsuccessfully, having captured Barav Dursna. What exactly went wrong?
There were 6 gateworks. We captured 4 and couldn't get further. The last 2, they defended those last 2. Rats the size of elephants.
Wait a minute.
That doesn't sound right.
Rat
Well, no,
men.
you guys even saw some of those guys, right?
We did.
Yeah, we did.
Warriors.
Oh, jeez.
No, not rat men the size of elephants. They had those too. Warriors of Discord, rat men that they just hopped up on whatever and unleashed them on us. That's how we lost most of ours. Oh, those rats. They had claws and pincers and tentacles. They did. The rat men. Taller than any minotaur.
Okay.
Wider too. Piles of muscle and sinew that could snap a warrior in half, armor and all. With
Hal is looking at Cesare sideways.
I mean, basically that is what happened to Bat Bayar, so how much can you disbelieve it?
I mean,
Fair point.
that was more of a dragon thing.
Each of these gateworks, so there are 6 of them total. What is the structure of this city? Is it like the
Never
first
knew the
gatework is
structure
like
of the actual city.
what's
The
that?
gateworks are on the outskirts. They're what let you in. And you
Did you
capture.
see any houses, civilians, people of any sort? I mean, they perhaps evacuated these areas upon your approach, but what was in between the gateworks?
From what we were told, Baragdurna is 3 concentric circles. The outermost one, behind the outermost one, were poor people and their lot. Then better middle class dwarfs behind them, and then upper class dwarfs behind them. But the Skitterkin had built their warrens all throughout, and I couldn't tell what was important and what wasn't. It all was one big mishmash, as far as what I could see. We captured the first 2 gateworks, and thus the outer gate. Then we captured the second 2 outskirts and the middle gate. So we had access to the first 2 rings. But going along the rings was nearly impossible. They were filled with warrens and Skitterkin architecture that did not lend itself to being easily passed through. Some of it simply collapsed as we tried to. So our last bit was to just punch through and just get through into the middle ring. Once we took that, we felt we'd have a way of securing that and working our way outward. Get the rings gone, but we couldn't get past the 2 inner gates. The 2 inner gateworks, the inner gate controlled by them, because they had the rats the size of elephants and the ogre-sized rat men, warriors of discord.
Yes, you've mentioned them.
They snapped a man in half like
Yes,
he was
they did.
butter.
So what was it in the end? You chose to withdraw because it was a hopeless position. How is it that you managed to return without being snapped in half by a giant rat?
Every day, the Skitterkin would fall upon us with new numbers, and we didn't have numbers to replace ours. It soon became apparent that in the war of attrition, we would have no hope. And once our first 3 attempts to smash in to those last 2 gates and break it down so we could reach this wherever the Skitterkin were being commanded from and destroy their leadership didn't work, well, it became apparent that our position wasn't tenable. So our good king ordered a retreat. He led us, you know. He was a good king.
The
He
king
is a
was
good
with
king.
you on this expedition.
He led it, you know.
Was it
Yes,
the
okay.
current king or the previous one?
Yes, the current one, Ironfossen.
All right.
Yes. And also our king, though he died. Not in the expedition, he died later. His
Right.
granddaughter, I think, is queen now.
Yes, Dorna, you're correct.
Yeah, she's a good queen.
That's
She
good.
hasn't led us on an expedition, though.
Is that a bad thing?
I don't
It sounded
know.
like many lives were lost in this expedition.
It wasn't good. But it wasn't bad.
What
Many
does that...
stories got made. There was heroism in those days.
I mean, it's like war and death and
You're right.
dying.
Now that I remember it, I wouldn't want to do it again.
Now that you say it, it was actually bad.
Now that you remind me, yeah, it does kind of suck real bad. It's a big dookie, in my opinion. I see. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
How long was this expedition, would you say? And how
Well,
long did it take you to walk there in the first place?
It took us more than a month's march.
Yes.
No, maybe. Yes.
But the Skitterkin, they didn't pursue you as you were fleeing? Retreating?
As we fled, no. Well, we formed a rear guard of our last strong units.
Did they assault this rear guard?
They harassed it a bit.
Okay, what does that mean? They threw rocks at it? None of the
Arrows.
elephant-sized rat
No,
ogres came for you.
The little rat men with the dark clothes and their arrows and their gnashing teeth. They'd fire arrows out from the shadows. Most didn't hit their marks. Fell
How
upon
far along the
shields.
retreat did they pursue you?
Oh, after a day or two, they stopped.
Okay.
When it became clear that we weren't simply trying to regroup and begin the assault again, I think.
Understood.
Have you met my daughter?
No, I have not had the pleasure.
She's a good lady. She visits me every week.
That is excellent. As a good daughter should. Well, thank you for your time, Mrs. Brunsbrake.
Oh, thank you for the visit.
No, absolutely. It was a pleasure. I hope to pay it
And-
again someday. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh,
And if you fight those Skitterkin, tell them Elise Brunsbrake sends her middle finger.
All right. I'll pass along your middle finger for you.
it's the
Cesare cuts off.
Sends her
Cesare
middle
cuts off
finger.
her middle finger. Yeah.
Oh no.
And I get like a piece of clay out of my pocket and I mold it around her middle finger and then I'll make a
Good one.
cast of this later.
Good. Yeah.
Now we'll go get a band-aid.
Oh, look, cards.
Oh.
All right.
Oh.
Rest of you.
Adorable. It's
Yes.
sus.
Have gone
What's the name of the dwarf we're trying to find?
Grungni
Sorry?
Grungnissen.
Grunnyson.
And what's
Grunny
the
Grunnison, huh?
what's the name of the place again, bro?
Oh, Bravdersna.
Brevstersna. Okay, I keep
Barag Dursna.
Barag.
I will.
There's.
This
how
is how I have
oh.
transliterated it.
Oh, I was
Oh,
close.
there's a G sound.
Yeah. I put an S instead of a Z. I never got an H. All right. So yeah, we're trying to find this Grungy Grungensen fellow.
All right, go speak to Grungers.
Yeah.
All right. Grungni Grungnissen, you find in a smith
Ah.
in the market district called
Ah,
Grungnissen's Weapons.
ah.
Best dwarf-made weapons in the Upper Kingdom. It says.
I think that's our guy.
I wonder. What's
The
it look like there?
Smith. Well, it looks like a smith. There's it's an open air store with a
There's a hot
bellows
air.
and a forge, anvil, a couple of
younger looking dwarves and a minotaur are currently cleaning up. Apparently done working for the day, while a middle-aged looking dwarf sort of looks on, watching over them. He has bushy red beard that has begun to go gray right at the corners of his mouth, and a wild plait of hair that's been sort of tied back to keep it away from the fire.
Hmm.
He is currently sitting on a chair in the corner, smoking a long pipe and watching his apprentices go about fixing up for the evening, occasionally giving orders in a gruff voice. He sees you coming, and before anybody else has the ability to greet you, goes, "We're closed. Come back in the morning."
Are you Grungy Grungensen?
No, I'm Grungni Grungnisson.
Sorry, my pronunciation is bad.
No kidding.
Yes.
Yeah. We're not actually here for smithy work. I'm
Well, then I'm less interested than what you want them before.
I'm Sada Ryudo. I'm a guest at the Minotaur Palace. I'm from Hanno.
Sada Wudo.
Yes.
Never heard of you.
I actually came to speak to you because I wanted to ask you about expedition you went on to Barg Dursna 41 years ago or so.
Barag Dursna.
Yeah, so I was wondering if you could.
Long time since anyone said that name to me.
Really? Because I've heard it about 500 times the last couple of hours.
Most have the good sense not to stay it in my presence. I lost a lot of good friends in Barag Dursna. Minotaur and dwarf alike. Even an elf came along. Bloody pointy-eared. Get bored and think
They
that
just
they
can't
are
help themselves but
invincible.
be racist.
Oh, but he was a good sort. A rat the size of a mountain lion leapt on him and ripped out his eyes before I could get it off. He died while I was extricating my axe from its head. His name was Lerolon.
Mm.
That's what I think of Baragturs now. Well, you came all this way to find me to ask me questions about it, so what are your questions?
I was just wondering if you could tell us about that whole expedition and the rat
It sounds like
folk there.
Sure. Let me just dredge up the memories of a horrifying mess of
I was about to.
battle and slaughter and death and shit and mud.
Mm.
I was gonna tell you not
You
to.
commonly go and question old men about their war stories.
More often than you think, honestly.
Sada.
Yeah.
Can can I talk to him?
Sure.
I guess I step forward. All right. And I kind of just give a gesture of can I come in within your personal space?
I'm not going to stop you.
All right. We mean no disrespect in terms of pulling up old memories. If we didn't have a particularly good reason to do so, we wouldn't be here. I kind of understand where you're coming from. I'm a bit of a mercenary myself. Or I'm
More
a
fool
mercenary.
you.
And
I
here's
got
my
out
friend.
of that work as soon as I could.
Yeah.
Much happier arming you folks than fighting alongside you.
Oh,
but
I yeah.
choice.
After several campaigns, I can totally relate to that. Like, I envy your position, admirably. So, if you could just, what's the word? Honor us. We'll be out of your hair, and you'll never hear from us again. And in return, Remember that sword that I got from the centaur cells?
Yes.
I pulled that out and I offer it as a gift.
I don't think you got it from the centaur. You got it from the elf. But yes.
Oh, the
Um,
elf, yeah.
um,
In return, I believe that this blade is fine enough as payment for, well, your time.
his eyebrows raise at this. He takes a couple of puffs on his pipe before reaching out and grabbing the blade.
And attacking him.
And he stabs Accio. Ah.
No.
Can't believe Akio died this way.
Turns it over once, twice. Tests its balance. This is a fine blade.
I could tell, yeah.
And he flips it around, hands it back to you, and goes, "No story's worth a blade like that. Ask me what you want to know. I'll tell you."
Alright, I back away and I give Saw to the floor.
Hmm.
And also, I kind of like give you a gesture, Sada, to be a little bit more respectful,
No.
as you were talking to a vet.
I don't think Sada was particularly disrespectful.
She kind of just followed up with like, "Oh yeah, that story. Sorry, that place where all my friends died. Could you tell me about that place?"
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you kind of just were a little bit direct about it, is what I'm saying.
A little flippant.
Mm.
I was trying to think of how to other ways to put it then.
Well, you don't have to now. You
Yeah.
got your in. Just ask him the questions.
Just ask him the question.
I'm wondering what Berg Dersna was like. What was the encounter with the Skitterkin was like?
The rats.
Yes.
They didn't attack us at first. Not until we had gotten through the first gate controls.
They didn't attack you at first?
Oh, it wasn't because they weren't going to. They let us into the first ring. And then when we were well in, trying to work our way through, set up camps among those piles of detritus they call homes, that's when they struck. Thousands of them from either side threw themselves upon our shield walls. The Minotaurs were not made for combat like that. Too cramped. Too little headroom. Too much metal to armor a body of that size, such that a little knife can't find its way from a little cranny. A dwarf you can wrap up in steel. Our Minotaur friends, it's too much weight to carry, really. In the first attack, we fought them off, but it set the tone for the rest of the campaign. Every time we thought we made an advance, every time we had the upper hand, they'd be gone. And then, when we'd be trying to consolidate, they'd hit us again. Drop rocks on us from the ceiling. Collapse portions of the walls. Send in massive berserkers. Warriors of Discord. Do you know a nation that uses warriors of Discord in war?
No.
That's because most aren't insane. The rats are. You corner them, they'll do whatever it takes. And I respect them in that way. They had no qualms of doing whatever they needed to do to survive. Eventually, neither did we. Why do you ask?
I'm interested, I guess. You're hearing about the war in the dark.
Most topsiders don't ask us about the wars in the dark. Don't care about how much my people have suffered, how much we've lost.
How did you get past the first gate? Was it just open?
We knew how the gates worked, and we knew the sally ports for them. We simply walked in. There's no one there. From then on.
And then they attacked you once you were a ways in?
Yes. And then it wasn't so easy. With half the army outside the gate and half of the army in the circle. It's honestly lucky that we didn't simply collapse there, but we had our ironclads up front. That's what held them. A good suit of dwarven full plate. That'll stop any ratman spear.
Yeah, and your forces managed to get a ways in before you eventually had to retreat, right?
Yes. We got through the second gates into the second ring, but the Skitterkin, as we got further in, they grew more desperate. They sent all manner of things at us. Who knew that they had such ability to create monsters and control them? And they were barely controlled. Saw plenty of Skitterkin get turned upon by the beasts they were trying to prod forward. Who knows? Maybe they sowed their own destruction there. Characters now might be an empty city, save for the beasts that they created.
How did you even?
That'd be something.
How did you even get away after all that?
Orderly retreat. Of course, we're dwarfs.
Of course.
We formed a rear guard. And as the most of the remaining army retreated, we fought them off until we could escape as well. I was in that rear guard.
But did you see anything?
Saw plenty of Skitterkin. Shot a few. My unit of crossbowmen was one of the last few units that hadn't taken many casualties, so it was up to us to hold that line. At this point, the Minotaur apprentice goes, "We're finished, Mr. Grungnerson. Right? Get going then. And I think you all better be going as well. I have to lock up.
Okay.
Good night to you."
I have one more question. Do you think Barrack Dersna was worth it?
That's our home, not theirs. It's worth every drop of blood until it's back in our hands.
Alright then. Thank you for your time.
And goes back to his business.
Nice guy.
Well then.
Oh, it's 20 after 10 already.
Yeah.
This chatty episode has been taking longer than I thought.
Spent like an hour with those orphans.
Yeah.
Orphans
actually,
are important. That's
The
a serious
orphans are
character
good, thank
development
you.
for Kasumi.
it's
Kasumi's a mom now.
I am mom friend, it's true.
No, it's not.
It is now.
Actually, I would like to just take a quick break because I have been talking for a while.
Okay.
So let me just take 5 minutes and we'll be back.
Alright.
I'm the DM now.
Newest
All of you
DM
roll.
now.
Look at me. I'm the DM now.
Da, 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 da. Okay.
We head back to the palace in real time.
We put the camera back in the room with the 3 orphans and they talk. Wait, shit. One of them is in the corner because of a timeout. The other 2 are talking. What are they talking about?
Well, if you carry the 2, then the other product is 35.
Alright, kids, I need you to start practicing your philosophy.
Okay.
I thought we were going to learn how to knee.
You're learning a lot of things today.
We're learning how to
Bad
knees,
dude.
and we're also learning where to stab someone. Wink,
Bonk.
Wink.
wink, wink, wink. And what a jib is. Where is Uncle Akio to tell us what a jib is?
I'm alright. Not here.
That's a weird thing to just say.
I picked it up on my travels. What do you want from me?
Okay.
I don't know. I'm talking to you via telepathy.
Telepathy.
Telepathy. Thank you.
Mama Kasumi, tell us about your adventures.
Well, you
Do
see,
you have any sworn enemies
uh,
that you wish
yes.
to crush?
Oh, I should talk about this with y'all.
We will help. We will crush Mama's enemies.
They would never expect us.
Yes. We have a tried and true method. Here, Brandon, right?
Yeah.
Brandon. Brandon, let's do the innocent orphans just want a hug
Oh,
routine.
okay.
Okay. Oh, hello, stranger. I am so scared and I'm crying and I
We
have to
are
hug.
alone.
We're alone. And
We're very small little baby. We're
surprise!
scared.
I've taken your wallet.
I have
And
stabbed you behind the kneecap.
You cannot catch us
Why-
because
why
your
are
knees
you-
are gone.
Why are you ruining these orphans for me? I just want some nice
They had to live on the streets, man. These are tough orphans.
There was no roofs to fiddle.
There was no roofs to fiddle.
I mean, wait. Whatever. I don't know what Fiddlers on the Roof is about.
It's about living in
the
being a
shtetl.
Jew
Being
in
a
Russia.
fiddler-
In the
fiddler
In the
shtetl.
pale. In the
Fiddler
pale.
on the
is
roof.
that the one with the movie adaptation with the really cool, like, they do like a hat dance?
There is a famous
gonna go
hat dance
AFK.
scene in Fiddler on the Roof.
Nice.
Yeah.
Alright,
There's
I'm
a
just gonna
bottle
go ahead and
dance,
play
not a
If
hat
I Were a
dance.
Rich Man.
Okay.
Or wait, no, should I play Tradition or Rich Man?
You don't gotta play either.
Either.
Oh,
I'll watch it at some point, I guess.
it's a good film.
It's a good musical. They
Reb
got some good
Tevye is a
songs
good
in
man.
there. Some real bangers.
I'll do it. I'll do it eventually. I'm doing an Akira thing. Watching all the Akira Kurosawa.
Kurosawa.
I don't know how to say the last name. Just get off my back.
Reb Tevye?
Kurosawa.
Wait, no.
Kurosawa. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's part of our Hackney's education.
Yes. Mommy, you still haven't told us any stories of your adventures.
I am back.
Welcome
Tell
back.
us how you and Daddy fell in love.
Tell us about how you and Daddy fell in love.
To death. Oh, dear Lord.
Hello?
Hello?
Many poor
Mama,
people.
this is not the story of how you and Daddy fell in
realize,
love.
of
This is a
course,
song
it's
from
no
Fiddler on the
shame
Roof.
weep.
Mama, your voice is very gruff.
But it's not
Suddenly.
great honor either.
Why is this playing?
I've been so terrible.
Because Jake started playing it.
If I had
It's a good song.
Our mama invented YouTube.
Shit musical.
That was a mistake.
If I were a rich man. Yabba-dibba-dibba-dibba-dibba-dibba-dibba-dum. All day long I biddy-biddy-bum. If I were a wealthy man,
Well, if
I
Mama will not tell
wouldn't
us
have
stories
to wear
about how her
harm.
and Papa fell in love, we will have to make them up ourselves.
Oh, okay.
Oh Lord.
If I were a bitty
I
bitty
think
rich idle diddle
Randoon,
diddle
I
diddle
think
man,
that
I'd
they
build a
were
big tall
on a
house
boat
with rooms by the dozen,
and were
right
attacked
in
by
the middle of the
pirates,
town.
like
A
our mean
fine tin
uncle.
roof with a
Wait,
real
they were
wooden floors
they were already
below.
both on the same boat, or was
Yeah.
one of them a pirate?
Long
Our
staircase
Papa was a
going up,
pirate,
and one even longer coming
and he
down.
was about
And
to
one
take
more
Mama
leading
captive, but
nowhere,
she was too
just
strong,
for show.
That's true.
and
I'd
he was
build
enchanted
my
by her
yard with the
physicality.
chicks and
wait.
Also
Yes.
probably true.
geese and ducks for the town
And
to see and
then
hear.
he
Squawking
Her mighty
jackals,
bosom,
noisily
her mighty
as they
matronly
can.
motherly
her
bosom.
mighty bosom,
And each
her
shouting,
watery bosom,
Whoa, what?
will land like a trumpet on the
and
ear. As if
so
to
she
say,
f-
"Here
bef-
lives
defeat
a
him in
wealthy
combat.
Her
man."
bosom is slishy sloshy like water balloons.
What?
And they, but it
Not like
really,
that.
Papa only pretended to lose in combat because he wanted to be captured by Mama,
All day long I
because he
biddy,
was
biddy,
in love
bid.
with her
If I
already.
were a wealthy man,
Wow.
I wouldn't have to wear
Did he give up his piratey ways?
Now he's only a pirate for Mama's heart.
Oh,
Oh,
beautiful.
that's pretty good.
He
I
wishes
came
to
back
see
as the
Yeah.
bosom is like slishy sloshy water.
It's like
That's the
drinking
thing.
from a Donny bottle.
That's the thing kids say all the time. I don't know what the big deal
We
is.
lived on the streets. We learned all kinds of naughty words like slishy slushy.
Bosom.
Penis.
Oh, what a happy mood she's in. Screaming at the servants
So,
day
so.
and night.
And that's the true story, and I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, I literally grew up in the
Town will come to
Remember when
follow
Reptavia
me.
harassed this chicken?
They will ask me
Excuse me as I pause Fiddle on the Roof.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yay.
Can't
So-
believe you guys don't like good musicals.
I
Back
like
to
it.
the
It's just
palace?
There's a time and place for it.
Back to the palace? Is that what we're doing now?
Let's to the palace. We'll compare notes, but we all heard each other's conversation, so we don't really have to. But it
Yeah.
seems like all of the soldiers, not very surprisingly, did not like the people who killed all of their friends.
Yes.
I mean,
What it
there's-
sound like the Skitterkin were just as desperate.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, this
Yeah.
is their home, and then they
And-
got attacked. And Skitterkin live much shorter lives, so most of them were
That's
not around
exactly
for
it.
whenever Barag Dursna was first taken. So for them, it's just like this genocidal invading army that has already taken 4 of their gatehouses, and they start have to resorting to horrible means. To
Yeah,
protect
how long of
themselves.
an interval between that attack
Yes.
and like the previous one?
That's a good question. I don't know though.
Because it would be quite surprising to have an army just roll up on you generations
They
and
did say they
generations
sent
afterwards.
6 expeditions, but also like the way they described how they managed to just like get past the first gate, kinda.
Do they not have any kind of concept of written history, like that they would know that things happened before they were
no,
alive?
I'm sure. Well, clearly, because they had like these other measures in preparation, but like still.
I'm just saying it wouldn't be that weird then.
Right, but I'm saying they were attacked by an invading force.
Yeah, and their shorter lives for sure. A few generations go by. However,
I'm not saying like
peaceful.
they'll forget that there's dwarves and they hate
Yeah.
them, but more like the Skitterkin who took Barag Dursna are not the Skitterkin who live in Barag Dursna.
Yes, yeah, I understand that. What's the
So-
other Skitterkin stronghold's Crithelma, right?
Crithelma, yes.
Crithelmar, yeah.
That was also originally Dwarven City, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
although
but
it was
then
not.
all the dwarves were dead by the time they got to it.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yes. Although Brisket has not been especially Lysingist to you, so. So yeah, it is late.
In the game or in
In the game. It's also late in reality land,
Yes,
but
in the game.
it's late in game. Yes.
Time
shit, I'm
time to
late.
sleep.
where the orphans
So
gonna
long,
sleep?
farewell.
I don't know.
Oh,
the
we should
orphans
make
are.
We'll put
I'm
them in
gonna enroll them
the closet.
Can we make the orphans do that?
I'm gonna enroll them in a boarding school here,
Make them do a musical when
What?
we
like a
see them
good
off?
school.
What?
Yeah.
You're going to
What?
leave them here?
Well, I mean,
Yep.
but
You can just make an orphanage in the in our kingdom in Sarugu.
Yeah, it's not that
yeah,
expensive.
but
Not
I
an
mean,
orphanage, an academy
Call
for
it
orphans.
Kasumi's Orphanage
The Orphan Academy.
Academia. Yeah.
Academy
for
for
gifted
Orphans.
youngsters.
The only
Mandatory
prerequisite,
attendance.
the only prerequisite is that you can't have a guardian register you. Gotta come in with no guardian.
Okay.
Or gun.
Well, the Twin Kingdoms doesn't really have very much in the way of like boarding schools like that.
Okay. I don't know,
Gotta
like a
take 'em,
Dardanian
Jake.
school.
You gotta take them
No,
with you on
fuck
the
it. I'll
boat.
just send them. They'll come back to Sarugu. Everybody's gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah. You gotta raise them with Tatsu.
Although they need to stop being,
Well, now that you're teaching
pickpockets
them,
and
they'll
murderers.
they'll get yes,
Yeah.
and they'll get the correct accents too.
I can't wait till they become cohorts.
Maybe
'Cause
they'll actually speak in normal voices instead of really high pitched ones because they
I-
are actually really quite large for their age. So it makes sense if their voices were pitched a little deeper.
And they'll go through
They
puberty.
might as well not exist by then. Like, I want them to be hot.
They are only their high pitched voices and nothing else.
Hello, it's me, the orphan.
Shut up, Dad.
I'm Rick Doon.
What?
Yeah.
No. Is Rita back?
Are they going through puberty
My
now?
high-pitched voice
Yes.
was inappropriate for
I
my
hear her
size, so
TV.
this is
Oh.
actually what I sound like.
Oh no.
Yeah, dog.
It's pretty good.
You may not think it'd be that way, but it do.
Kasumi explaining the bird and the bees. Go.
Sleep comes to you
Sleep.
easily after your eventful day, your very eventful day. And the next morning, you awaken. Breakfast is being served. It is the continued Minotaur style large breakfast.
The Minotaur specialty. Large breakfast.
Yes, there is much breakfast to be had.
62
And it is good.
eggs.
And very soon, as soon as you think about it, it seems like it is time to meet with the king of the dwarves.
Ba, 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 ba.
What's the plan?
Well,
Let's just swing it.
what
That's
we
all we
want.
got, really.
Well, where do we keep Frisket?
Well, Vriskit is going to come with us to these negotiations, but he is not going to be immediately. Perhaps. We would want him nearby to summon him at the appropriate time, I believe. Because he would wish to probably make his own case as well.
Yeah.
At least I believe so. I ask Vriskit
Yeah.
this.
Well, I would prefer to speak on behalf of the
Right.
Skitterkin of Crithelma.
Yeah.
So you shall. But we probably should not just immediately walk in with you there.
No, if you believe that to be wise, then I agree.
As far as what we say, our playbook is pretty simple. We are not asking them to make an alliance with the Skitterkin of Crithelma. We are simply... Well, our intentions are simply to establish an embassy with them. But we wish to have all cards on the table and have them aware of the fact that we have relations with the Skitterkin
Yeah.
kingdom. And...
Rather, they've know now than hear about it by hearsay later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as far as what Suru alluded to, a little bit of improvisation is probably going to take place as we try to figure out, if we could somehow push for more, potentially. If we can broach or proffer the thought that perhaps the animosity between them does not have to be the way that it is. But really, yes, what we're saying is simple. We wish to have an embassy with the Twin Kingdoms. We did them a major favor, but we do not wish to deceive them. And beyond just that, with the help of Durna, who seems semi-sympathetic to what we are saying, and hopefully we can rely on that or lean upon it somewhat, try to negotiate better relations. It's a bit tricky because apparently the king was the guy who led the war that everybody is so bent out of shape about.
Yeah, I'm really worried about that part.
Yeah.
He was there 41
you
years
can't
ago.
have everything.
All right. You are led through the palace into the great hall of the Upper Kingdom. You see, seated at the far end of the hall in her throne, Queen Dorna, and next to her, an equally ostentatious seat, the much smaller form of King Grudgrim Ironfussum. To his right is a smaller seat, though still a throne by any definition, where a younger dwarf is sat. At lower tables, there are a few minotaurs and a few dwarves. You do not recognize them. Well, no, excuse me. You do recognize one of the dwarves. It is the Reeve of the Lower Kingdom. You recognize him from having dealt with him to help implicate the.
Right, I remember that guy. He was pretty cool.
Yes, the nasty Borum Magpeak.
The nasty boy.
Yes.
Even. Page turn.
Welcome, friends, says Dorna.
Hello. I bow politely.
Sada Ryudo.
I curtsy.
You don't.
It is good to have you in our joint presence. Yes, Sada. We remember what you and your compatriots accomplished for us some time ago. It is astonishing that in such short amount of time you have gone from a mere adventurer saving our tombs to the ruler of a small kingdom.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Yes, that is exactly the words I would choose. I have come to understand that Queen Donna has already organized a trade agreement between our peoples.
Yes.
I am also intrigued that you wish to establish further diplomatic relations between our kingdom
Indeed.
and your island. But first, may I ask, what sort of relationship is it that you desire?
We would like to establish an embassy.
Yes.
With the Twin Kingdoms so that we may be able to communicate more freely and coordinate in matters of mutual interest with greater ease.
A mutual interest. Would that also refer to your ongoing conflict with the shogunate of Hadano?
It may potentially, should it call upon it.
Twin kingdoms have enemies of their own. We live on the edges of Kesh. And the 7 cities are always hungry for foreign ventures, as they call them. Involving my people in a war against all of the Broken Coast, as I understand your holdings are still quite modest. This is not a avenue I feel I can pursue. Paulina suddenly drops to the ground. Oh no, she's okay.
Our intention
that's okay.
is not
Power
to
went out.
immediately involve the Twin Kingdoms in our conflict with the shogunate. An embassy is merely an embassy so that we may be able to communicate in case it is necessary. This may not even be out of a necessity to coordinate, but simply perhaps,
Diplomatic relations.
Diplomatic
official.
relations. If there
You
is an
understand
issue that the Twin
by
Kingdoms is suffering under or a desperate need, we may be able to help. And likewise.
You understand that by recognizing your nation as something to have diplomatic relations with, I am taking a stand on your behalf. We, forgive me, Dorna, are taking a stand on your behalf against those who you are rebelling against. We have relations with the shogunate as well. They are a nation quite potent as it was our decision not to include their ambassador as part of this meeting.
The shogunate has an ambassador here?
Yes.
That's funny.
Out of deference to the service that you provided us and the friendship that we owe you. Have you actually rolled to establish the embassy?
No, we've been waiting for this moment.
Yet. Yeah.
Would you like me to go? Would you like to proceed with the embassy rolling?
Yes.
All right.
I should.
Look at the kingdom
Though you might want to bring up the thing that you might want to bring up.
All right.
Before that.
There is an additional subject that we wish to discuss. Speaking of enemies, and perhaps even what's the word I'm looking for? Benefits, services, aid that we can provide. But we do not wish to deceive you in any means before you.
Yeah. We wanted to put all the cards out on the table.
I do not understand. In what way deceive?
Well,
Dorna
no deceive, because we're nervously going to tell you right now.
No, I understand, but what would you have deceived us about? Dorna nervously drums her hand on her fingers on the armrest of her chair.
Is it code? Do I understand it?
No, she's
just nervous.
She's just nervous.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's her dad, and he is a big war man.
Her uncle.
Yeah.
Her uncle.
And
adopted dad, though, isn't it, or something?
Yeah, they're blood brothers, so.
Yeah.
So he's actually like her great uncle.
I see.
But yeah.
We wish to introduce you to an ally we made in Hadano. Tarugu.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, a friend to you is a friend to our twin thrones.
Good God! Uh-oh.
Oh, that's a warning alarm. Get out of here.
Sorry.
Alright, guys.
That's bad
Meeting's
timing on my
over.
part.
Oh no, the palace is on fire!
No. No.
And our very modern smoke detectors are going off.
Who is this ally?
Do you want to have
Bad.
Well, do we? I thought Tombstone was saying that he's coming in.
Yeah.
I thought you
I
were going
guess-
to introduce the concept.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Well, let's introduce the concept
Yeah, let's
then.
introduce.
Um,
The little.
we are aware,
Brisket is waiting
of
on
course,
your
that
cue.
there has been a war or an ongoing conflict that the dwarves have been waging for millennia, referring, of course, to the war in the Underdark, or
The
the Dark.
wars
the
in
dark.
the dark. Yes.
Yes.
You have made peace with goblins.
We
That'd
have
be
not
impressive.
made peace with goblins, of course not. Don't be ridiculous. Goblins? Absolutely not. They're horrible creatures.
Yeah. We fought a bunch of them actually.
We fought a bunch of them, actually.
Yeah.
That's true. No, underneath Sirugu is a kingdom of Skitterkin known as Krithalma, who
The king's face darkens
Mm.
like an oncoming thunderhead,
Uh oh.
but he says nothing. You see Dorna slowly start leaning away from him.
Her throwing something on the other side of the room.
They're a kingdom long separated from their brethren in the west.
Nothing to do with your type.
But specifically,
For a
of
long
course, what we
while.
are referring to is, I mean, we were surprised to find them. We were not
Yes.
aware of the even existence of this race that, of course, threw us for a loop, so to speak. But it's true, we have entered into diplomatic relations with them. In our
I
quest to...
cannot manage the company you keep, but I have difficulty reconciling that a friend of mine might make common cause with rats.
That holes
How
up her
old
call.
is Ironfussin?
Ironfussin is about 300 years old.
So he
He's
was around when it was
old.
still... When, like, it was first severed?
No, that was
No.
severed.
That was like
little-
millennia
Yeah.
ago or whatever.
This is like countless
Not
generations.
quite a millennia, but it was severed a while ago,
Yeah.
Okay.
and about a millennia ago.
Okay.
That Barak Dursna was lost. So it's been a number of kings since then. A number of kings or queens have sent expeditions, and his was the most recent. So all have had a bit of a cause to dislike Skitterkin, as well as just like the tradition carried down through generations of, as I said, dwarves are boogeymen to Skitterkin, very much the same. Skitterkin are these things that like come out from beneath your bed and slit your throat at night if you're a dwarf. You check under your bed for Skitterkin. You don't check them under. You don't check for monsters. Or better, just have a bed that's been carved out of the rock so that it has no underneath.
Check for goblins in the closet. Check for Skitterkin under the bed.
Yeah, what if they tunnel under your bed, though?
Oh no.
Oh, well, then, you joke, but that's happened.
Happened just the other day, in fact. Nasty creatures.
That's a spicy spaghetti again.
Uncle.
Yes?
These...
Come on, man.
Come on.
Sorry.
I like how naturally it came out, too.
Dorn, these are allies of ours and allies of theirs. It could be that, in this case, the friend of our friend is our friend, or at least not our enemy. You don't know Skitterkin, Dorna. With all due respect, I do. I have fought them.
Is it your opinion that in fighting somebody you get to truly know them? Is that when they really like to, I don't know, put on their best face and try to get to know you?
You get the character of an entity.
That is not even a sentence.
The way that person swung that sword implies that they are a gigantic coward.
In fighting them.
I will say the Skitterkin of Krithlemar have been separated from this for over 1,000 years or more.
They are not as.
And what is Krithlemar, do I wonder?
It was an old dwarven hold that apparently.
Made a friend of those who butchered our people. Where are the dwarves of Krithlemar, or whatever it was called in those days?
They died many years prior to the Skitterkin arriving.
Very convenient for them.
Should we go into detail? I don't think Aki was aware of the fungi thing that happened.
That's what I thought too, honestly. Just saying.
And I don't want to point. Oh, that was meta. I'm sorry. I know that because Bedblayer knew that, and I pointed it out.
I mean, there was evidence there that suggested it to us as well when we were down. A certain alien entity, a fungus, that might have done them in.
A fungus.
Among Us.
A sentient fungus.
Yeah, we found a dwarf that was basically all but consumed by it and barely had enough sentience to.
It was kind of a puppet.
Speak at all. And the moment it did speak of its own volition, the fungus killed the dwarf.
Still out there, too.
Yeah. Some kind of queen of the fungus. Yep.
I do not detect that you speak false, but...
I mean, why would we?
If we were going to lie, we could probably think of something better than that.
Yeah, one of those so incredulous it has to be true type deals.
Mm-hmm. Next you'll tell me that you've brought one here.
Well,
we did because we wanted all cards on the table here, and we wished.
There's a Skitterkin in the Twin Kingdoms.
Yes.
We wanted to be very upfront, and he's, he is.
Dorna, you've let a Skitterkin into my kingdom.
He's the lore keeper.
My kingdom, Uncle.
Both of your kingdoms.
He's the lore keeper of his people. He's a follower of Emiria. He's a lovely old man.
He's one of the leaders of the Krithlemar Council, who volunteered to come with us to speak.
Because he wanted to try to repair relations between your races. This is not as if we're just coming on our own behalf. This is a Skitterkin. The people you hate so much is reaching out and trying to repair what went wrong.
And to his people, these histories are much more ancient than they are to yours. They would like to repair things.
Bring him.
Wait.
All right,
wait.
now let's do it.
Wait.
Hey, if he
shout out to them all the way. Brisket.
Wait.
Wait. Yeah.
Is this a good idea? Wait.
Yes.
Look, we can get him out.
Shouldn't we
if
have like
things
some
go south.
guarantees before we do this?
Well, I mean, things aren't going to go south, though. We are here as diplomatic envoy. If things go south, this kind of like it.
Breaks bad, pretty bad.
But should we like?
Yeah, you're in the Upper Kingdom. The guards are almost entirely Minotaurs.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't have to point out that he has diplomatic immunity. Okay, good.
That's not a thing, Pathfinder.
You mean Accio?
Diplomatic immunity.
Accio taught Bapar everything he knows.
Yeah.
He
I
is.
guess I can step out and go get brisket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Suru, you step out and soon step back in, brisket in tow.
Pow will move to stand closer to him.
The king's hands have grabbed onto his seat and are squeezing his armrest so hard that his knuckles are turning white. His son is much more circumspect about the whole situation, but he is noticing the character of his father and has also started to lean away from him. Dorna, on the other hand, has stopped. Apparently, that quip about my kingdom sort of got her.
That's good.
I bet.
Her hackles up.
Hell yeah.
Oh no, not the hackles. You fucked up now.
Oh no.
You're in for a bruise.
I glance over at Brisket. How's he looking?
Don't worry, Brisket, we got him by the hackles.
Brisket walks forward and he leans very low upon his staff and goes, I am Lawkeeper Brisket of Crithelma. I am here as a ambassador of my people to your great twin kingdoms. Your Majesties, it is my honor to be in your presence. I treat you with the courtesy due an envoy and nothing more. Speak, Ratman.
Okay.
No. All right. Okay.
Brisket doesn't seem to take insult. As far as you can tell, he's just like, yeah, that's sort of objectively true. Fine.
Damn, you got me.
I am a rat who has taken the form of a man.
Damn. How do you find me out?
And he goes, it has been long that our people have been at odds. A genocidal conflict that has cost countless lives on both sides. But we in Crithelmar are simply one facet of an entire history, one that quite detached from the violence that has convulsed us. Just as I understand, you are quite detached from your homeland. Yes, because the Skitterkin took the only way through it. Oh. Well, moving on. Still, perhaps it would be better to no longer have the pattern of violence be our default relation. And perhaps we could move forward into a time of, if not peace, at least understanding. And as long as we could simply learn to not even live side by side, but at least have mutual friends.
Sort
It
of
is
like a
clear you
girlfriend.
despise me. I am sorry for whatever cause my race has given you to do so. But know that I do not despise you. And know that I am truly a friend to these leaders of the island of Surugu. and we have tied ourselves to them. We have fought alongside them in their cause. We trade with them now. We have been introduced to so much more than we knew. And we would, at least for our cause, like to make it common with your own as well. The king
Suddenly,
doesn't.
one dwarf stands up and claps.
The other dwarves just stare at him until eventually he sits down. Fortunately, it was the prince.
Oh.
Oh, cool. The antics chamber strikes again.
Yeah.
Goof made reality.
A lot of that going on today.
Yes, the king simply glowers at Vriskit. Eventually, Vriskit bows again, looks towards Dorna, and says, "Thank you, Lord Keeper Vriskit, for your words. We will think upon them at length, I'm sure. You may retire." And Vriskit does so.
Run.
He slowly backs off.
Dorna, we will have words. I'm sure we will at length, Uncle. You may make your embassy roll.
Okay.
Now that we've warmed them up.
Boy, oh boy, let me pull up these fun rules. All right. Diplomacy, Twin Kingdoms. They are size 20. So, just type that in there. Target Kingdom's alignment is lawful good. Target Kingdom's attitude, what are they? Helpful, friendly, unfriendly, indifferent? Helpful?
They were helpful.
Okay.
Yeah, right now I think it's changed.
Right
a bit.
now, Durna is at friendly, and the Ironfussen is
Unfriendly.
at
Hostile.
unfriendly. So no,
Okay. Hostile is war, I know.
he's more indifferent. So
okay.
towards you, because he had gone
Yes.
from friendly. Also, he's been shot down too. So we'll even out to helpful.
Okay. We haven't really talked to the Monfarsons guys yet, so no shared alliances, shared treaties, no treaties with their allies. We don't have an embassy in an... Wait, we do have an embassy in an enemy kingdom, don't we?
Do we?
I mean, if you want to count the...
Krithelma?
Krithelma.
Oh, yeah.
Although, wait, we don't have an embassy with Krithelma, do we?
You do not.
We don't. We only have
Do
them
we?
with Agamemnon. So, ha ha ha.
Yeah. Are they enemies of the Iterons?
Are they enemies
They're
with...
not.
Well, not the Iterons. Enemies with
Of
one
Agamemnon?
specific
Yeah.
Iteron.
Yeah. Did Agamemnon wrong the dwarves in any way?
I mean, probably at some point.
Probably, almost certainly. I'm okay. So then, none of those really apply. We're no bribe money. Do you want to toss a miscellaneous modifier on this bad boy, or will you keep it a secret and I'll just roll and you can say a number?
I'm going to do that.
Okay. Diplomatic edicts for embassies. Roll diplomacy once against the diplomacy DC to establish an embassy. Great news. That DC is a 20 right now without the mysterious modifier. I will roll my diplomacy roll.
That's your very good diplomacy.
You succeed.
You.
Now, okay, if the roll fails, blah, 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 blah. If it succeeded, add an embassy for that kingdom, and you may purchase a mansion or noble villa.
Hey.
That's embassies. Wow, embassies are easier than I thought. Oh, it's treaties that sucks. Treaties are like that you have to do 5 rolls.
Yeah.
Okay. Then yes, you successfully founded an embassy in the Twin Kingdoms.
Oh wait, and we have to roll a
put
1d4.
some need to put some diplomats in there.
Uh-huh. Well, we brought some bureaucrabancers with us.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll make the orphans the diplomats.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, it can't fail.
I say our first edict is free cheese for everyone.
Yay!
3 children that we literally pulled off the street.
And not having parents is
Yesterday.
illegal.
We
punishable by execution.
A parent in every pot.
All right.
Slogan I can get behind.
Let me click this button, and boom, we have an embassy. And we'll talk about buying the building by Montfarsons to get the noble villa in place, I guess, at some later time. But okay.
Well.
Well.
What have we had?
Well. What do we have here?
Well, I
Well.
guess I will
I guess we return to the room.
go. Question mark?
Dorna returns to you and says, "We have agreed to allow your embassy to be established.
All right.
Yay.
Further negotiations will have to take place, and I have been informed that while our trade agreement will be honored, further diplomatic negotiations will have to go through both thrones."
All right.
With regards to
This
Sirugu.
is understood.
Should we mention the thing?
What thing?
Oh,
The whole
with
thing.
the the lance breakers?
Yeah.
You know, we might as well.
Yeah. I guess Dorn would be the one to ask about it. So.
It has been a kind of chaotic day for her, though. I won't worry about stressing her out too much more. But, I guess maybe an appropriate question would be to ask if we're
if we don't talk about it, we're just gonna go attack a noble family after our meeting here.
Ooh, yeah, good point. Does line up kind of not exactly fortuitously.
Dorna, while we were trying to settle some light intrigue having to do with my family, a certain playwright by the name of Chester. You're familiar, maybe?
The Ardanian.
The Ardanian.
Chester Silver?
Chester Silvertongue.
I think.
Serpent.
Serpent Tongue.
Yes.
You're right.
He
Serpent Tongue.
approached us and tried to recruit us into helping him stop some sort of doomsday cult.
Yes.
At the behest of gods.
At the behest of gods, according to him.
He said the Champions Pantheon came to him in a vision and told him.
Right.
That is...
I mean, you didn't even really say a vision, right? They're just like old pals, and they probably like...
Yeah.
From what he has written,
From what he has written, of course.
He was acquainted with them before their ascension.
Yes. Anyway, that the Lance Breakers were specifically the group he was trying to stop.
Lance Breakers. As in the Lance Break family?
Yeah. As in the Lance Break family, correct.
I wasn't aware they're in a cult. I know that they are avid collectors.
Right, I think that's the problem.
Do you think that they've collected something that they should not have?
Perhaps.
Apparently.
Well, I cannot simply seize their property from them, especially as it's something so important.
Right.
I can reach out to ask if... that's the thing. I don't even think... I'm not actually sure how I would proceed in this. I can't simply accuse them of being in some sort of death cult. That would be...
Maybe just look the other way and let things happen.
In the past, when mysterious evildoers were doing nefarious things in the kingdom, we did have a hand in doing something about it.
That is correct. You collected evidence, and they were tried.
Shit.
So, would this be. Were we to choose to become involved in this, that would be your preferred route?
If it is true that the Lance Breaks are doing something that could endanger the kingdom, which a doomsday device or whatever it is that you're talking about sounds like, then yes. But there lies the issue of if you're asking me for permission to simply break into their manor and search the place, no, I cannot grant you that.
I mean, not permission, or so. Probably just gonna
Would
do
it be
that.
easier to grant us forgiveness?
Yeah,
that's
well, that's
the
not
thing.
something you just say, though.
I mean, wink, wink, though. Mm.
I'm gonna break into people's houses.
She drums her fingers again
Don't listen to Accio.
and sort of leans back in her chair. You proved to be friends to my family. I today hope that I prove to be friends of your nation as well, and to
Indeed.
your group specifically.
Very much so.
You mean the
Yes, so
government?
don't just go fuck stuff up.
I
Yeah.
cannot
Yeah.
give you permission to raid the home of some of my most important and prestigious subjects.
Hmm.
But if one was to do that and discover a death cult at risk, that put the entire kingdom at risk through the use of ancient devices, then the resulting interaction between those finders of nefarious deeds and myself would be likely one of thanks and not punishment.
So we good?
Maybe.
That's probably my favorite butt ever.
Your favorite
She
button.
makes sure that the people in the room, besides yourselves, are those that she looks at the faces of each one, makes sure that like, okay, he's okay, she's okay, he's okay, she's okay,
Not him,
he's
though.
okay. Okay, good.
Craig.
Not Craig.
I don't
Craig the
believe it.
Minotaur.
Isn't it Craig do?
Do your best, your utmost, to restrict injury.
Oh yeah, no
Oh, of
problem.
course.
Definitely.
But unless, of course, they're in the
And
act
property damage.
Ah.
And
But,
don't be wrong.
Okay. Sounds good.
Besides that,
Oh, damn it.
what was that?
That's how much it costs to do that
Uh,
embassy thing.
4 build points.
Oh, I actually already paid for it. Never mind. Great.
Nice.
I guess we had rolled for that in the past.
How much was it?
It looks like it was 4 that time, too.
Okay.
So,
It is doomed to be 4. And with that, well, actually, no. Let's.
I want to ask
The
Dorna about.
the ambassador to Montfaucons will be fast, also. Oh, yeah, sure. Ask Dorna if you need anything to ask her.
Yeah, I was just wondering how things went after we left. I was surprised by how much more receptive the Crown Prince was to Frisket.
Ingmir is a progressive person.
ugh.
His father is not.
Yes.
He was of assistance in mollifying him in this case. It would probably be wise not to bring up the activities of Crithelmar with vis-a-vis yourselves in future negotiations with the Twin Thrones.
All right.
Understood.
Understandable.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
I'm glad that this has come out to a beneficial end, and hopefully that as we move forward, our countries can continue to grow closer together. And while I understand that my uncle is wholly reticent to involve ourselves in your war, our moral and trade support you already have.
Thank you, Joanna.
Cyril
Thank
gives
you.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah, what Suru did.
She smiles sort of bemusedly at you. You are dismissed from her chamber.
All right.
And find yourselves in your common room, where not soon after arriving and recollecting yourself, you have a few moments to speak if you want to compare notes.
I suppose we should the curfew or the restrictions on Frisket still remain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine so, yeah.
Yes.
Probably, even if they didn't, probably be a good idea to keep him.
Yeah, to keep him in the palace.
Can we check up on his well-being?
Yeah, how's Frisket doing?
He's been murdered by dwarves. No.
No.
Oh, I just want to know if he's
That's
okay.
exactly what we
stressed
didn't
out.
want.
He was actually murdered by the Minotaur orphans who were dwarfs in costumes.
Oh my god. The
Sorry,
perfect crime.
The perfect
No,
crime.
Brisket is fine.
Crime.
Tatsu was serving everybody lunch, actually. He had requested a small grill and some ingredients and is currently making something.
Something.
Fajitas.
He's just sort of throwing things together, and it's ending up pretty good.
Oh, what's
Like,
it smell like?
It smells very spicy.
So how you doing, Frisket?
Brisket is making something spicy.
That was very intense.
Yes.
Oh no, Tatsu
Yeah.
made something milder for him.
Yeah.
Oh.
At least it seems the Crown Prince was a lot more receptive to you.
That
He was
yes,
able to mollify his father somewhat, I heard. Joanna.
that is very good and raises hope that as generations pass, our enmity will pass as well. Were you successful in establishing your embassy?
Yep.
We were.
Very good. I'm pleased. You'll have to establish an embassy in Grithelmont now.
We certainly shall. If you'll take one.
I'm sure I can convince the council that it will be wise to bind our countries closer together. Who knows? If your entire rebellion goes the way of so many rebellions before it, you can flee down to Chrythama and live underground with us.
Oh, that sounds great.
That's
Freeze frame.
Freeze frame as the Minotaur orphans move around and steal all our things as we're frozen.
Did they take that bottle?
No.
Damn.
They have left the bottle.
Why are you trying to poison my kids?
I just want to see your kids puke.
I want to throw your kids over a roof.
No.
Let's
That's black water, that's what that is. That'll
Are
make
you
you throw up.
Are you
I used to do that stuff every day.
Rick Doone's the weird one.
It's true.
So, you finish lunch. You're able to recollect yourselves. And after a moment, you hear a knock on the door.
Oh no, this is the French.
Nevermore.
What's up? I call to the door.
Who's at the
The
door?
door is opened by a palace guard, and walking into the room is a man that up until this point only Cesare has seen. He is wearing a Cesare, a similar outfit to what you last saw him in, a very gaudy and very lacy long coat with matching vest and pantaloons,
socks up to his knees.
Ankles?
Socks up to his knees.
Yeah, revealing
Socks
that
up to his
clutch.
hands.
No, socks up to
Oh.
his knees, clutch close around his legs. Fine leather-made shoes with a shiny buckle. A wig upon his head that has been powdered nearly white. That is a pile of curls that continues up about 1.5 feet above his skull.
Jeez.
He walks with an affected grace. In his one hand is a handkerchief which he holds out for no apparent purpose besides effect. His face is a white, is been whitened by powder, and upon it has been pressed a heart-shaped beauty mark upon
My
his right
God.
cheek. And he has a small mustache that curls and has been darkened, presumably also by makeup as well. And he goes up to you into the room and goes, I am the servant of my master, the Marquis de Chambord, ambassador to the Twin Kingdoms.
My eyes roll into the back of my head.
Okay.
We were told to expect you. Nice to meet you.
And I announce him now for you. At which
Oh.
point he bows down, extremely low, putting one leg behind the other and allowing the handkerchief to drift down in front of him.
I hate this man.
And out from behind the door emerges a much more humbly dressed person. Well, not humbly dressed. His dress is actually of exceptional quality.
In fact, he's smug as fuck.
Silks, heavy sort of dress. Clearly, that's been enchanted to ward against the hot weather of the Twin Kingdoms, as he is not sweated or at all. He is simply a picture of nobility and reserve. The ambassador of Montfaucons enters.
Greetings,
Hey.
Philip.
Hi.
Adieu.
Monsieur de Sensi, I am told that the rest of you are the daimyo of Ryudo. And he
Yes,
bows to you, Sada.
that's me.
Et
Hi.
al. I am here to investigate the potential for diplomatic contact between our two peoples. Sadarudo, I understand that you have been quite successful in your rebellion against the nation of Hadino, the Broken Coast, as they are called, as they have spent much of their time and resources in invading the Golden Empire.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, I understand that you have several islands to your cause. I'm wondering exactly how many.
What?
It's the number of islands you have
So many.
in fief to you. What is the
I
size of your
step.
domain?
We have full control of Sarugu and are currently in contact with a second island.
Yes.
Monsieur de Sensi, perhaps I was confused in our previous conversation. I thought that you had said that you had multiple islands under your control.
2 is multiple. Didn't say.
He's got you there.
In contact does not mean in control. From what I am understanding now, you have one island. The archipelago of the Broken Coast is rather more than one island, as I understand.
There are several islands.
Yes.
Many severals,
Many
I am
severals.
told.
What is the size of your armed forces, I wonder?
Oh, we can look that up for you.
Wonders a lot, huh?
Kasumi should know that.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
I don't have the
we gotta look at the
off the
number.
top of my head, my dude.
Our potential manpower is 3,100. Our current manpower is 1,300.
Hmm.
But I round up to 2,000.
Roll bluff.
Okay. It's a small fib.
It's a small fib, but at this point, he may not be quite so inclined to believe what you're saying. Of course, on the other hand, you have a tremendously high bluff.
It's true.
So there is nothing that you do to indicate that this is a lie. Whether or not he believes you or not is another question. And what is the economic output of your kingdom on average per month, I wonder?
Well, I do not have our treasurer with us to be able to give you the full books, but I don't just give him the actual economy numbers, but describe the number of farms, mines, and lumber yards that we have, and the pace at which we've built new ones.
Of course, you know that my own kingdom, my glorious queen, born of rebellion and revolution themselves, seeing as we are throwing off the shackles of the nefarious Dumadin Empire. But I must confess, when I had first heard of your rebellion, I was hopeful that you were perhaps further along. It would seem to me that a single island with 2,000 men set against very many islands.
Consider that this rebellion began about 9 months ago.
True.
It is true.
And in this time, we've already done this much.
You
that
have
we have just
progressed
established
rapidly.
an embassy with the Twin Kingdoms, are in negotiating trade deals.
As I understand, that was that benefited from your previous relation. A relation you
Certainly.
sadly do not have with my nation. Understand, I emphasize with your position.
I understand.
You
But you are also
need
being slightly presumptuous. You're the one who wished to have an audience with us. I was excited at the prospect of being your neighbor and speaking with you.
Yes, and of course, you had no designs on making beneficial contact with Montfaucons for your own people.
No, we certainly
And
did.
why? Yes, forgive me, that was sarcasm. Of
Why
course,
do we need this guy again?
He's got access to a shitload of guns, and their nation is pretty powerful.
Yeah.
At least, and they're also like a little bit aligned in terms of like what they're about. They're also a rebellion, so it's kind of a natural.
Birds of a rebel flock together.
Birds of a rebel feather, yeah.
Well, all rebellions must start somewhere. I'm sure even
Montfaucon.
Yeah, Montfaucon.
Shazari leans over and whispers this. Montfaucon.
They even started had to start somewhere as well.
Indeed, it did. And in 9 months to have secured your ancestral home from the simple start of an adventuring party is a accomplishment to be lauded clearly. But I must work in
how you say, a deference to my country's benefit.
I understand. In a previous conversation, you mentioned that you had interest in perhaps having better relations with Viven as well, however. Is this not true?
This is true. All right.
Well, it so
Good night,
happens
Jake.
that you
We're going to be finishing up like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Okay.
this is true, and whether or not that could proceed from the relationship with a small island nation in the north of the Broken Coast remains to be seen. Although a better relationship with you, Monsieur de Sancy, is, of course, one that I would personally desire, as you seem to be a most intelligent and upright man.
Well, we appear to be neighbors soon, and I actually do, now that I think of it, have something to speak to you about in a more personal capacity, should you be interested in having my audience later.
I am always interested in a man of taste and refinement making his way into my office to speak of the business of nations.
What?
Is he using the fucking flattery attack that I keep on doing on me?
Well, what's the resistance to that? Is that a
I don't.
sense?
I don't remember. Let me look.
I didn't think it was one. But you do feel
Intoxicating flattery.
you do feel very flattered.
Wisdom-based skill. No. It's 10 plus the creature's sense motive modifier.
What's your sense motive modifier?
My sense motive modifier is 19.
Well, so the DC would be 29. You feel exceptionally flattered.
Oh, wait. Attempt a bluff check against a DC equal to 10 plus the creature's hit die. Yeah, so it's, minus 29. Man,
Okay.
I feel flattered. Damn. My wisdom checks have dropped by minus 2.
A rival has been. I don't know.
But 2 can play at that game. You are very pretty man.
Thank you. I think.
Now, are you level
I have
3 by your
already written to and heard back from my master, the Queen. My government will be sending a emissary to the land of Sirugu for an investigation of your full capacity as a state and for the negotiation of further diplomatic relationships.
Well,
all right then.
It would be a pleasure to host them.
It will.
I'm sure they will not
I
come away disappointed.
apologize that I cannot simply do this as myself, but I am merely an ambassador and not to your nation.
Yes, this is understood.
But it was my pleasure to put you in contact with my own superiors. Perhaps I may host your band of noble scions of Surugu at a later date.
Of course.
Until then, I must bid you all adieu.
All right.
Wait, one more thing before you go.
Yes?
Say Sephiroth.
Say Sephiroth?
I do not understand.
Just say it.
We don't know this man. He just walked in from the street.
Sephiroth.
Thank you.
You're welcome, you strange little man. He walks out.
Well.
At which point, Maximilian, who has been standing in the bowed position, raises with a flourish and goes, "That was my master, the Marquis de Champal. He has left now, and so have I." And he leaves.
Goodbye, Maximilian.
What were those?
Who is Maximilian? He's like a manservant guy. He wears so much perfume.
No, like all of them.
Oh,
together?
who they were in general? Diplomats from Montfarson,
Yeah.
island nation that rebelled against the Empire.
They're not an island. They're a peninsula, actually.
Peninsula.
Peninsula
It's
nation.
almost an island. That's what
Yes.
it means in
They were really-
Empires.
No,
It's an
actually
island connected to
quite
a
a
land.
large peninsula.
No, Paine Insula. It means almost an island.
Okay, but it.
I am speaking in Empires or whatever the language is. As a sophisticated man of culture, I know the origins of these words because I was forced to study it
Yes.
in my many proving schools.
I sense motive. See if Cesari's telling the truth.
Okay.
Oh, that's a crit too.
Well, you can't crit skill checks though.
Well, that's a crit
You know that really
What?
big peninsula that basically forms the lower left-hand quadrant of Veli?
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, the like.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's where gunpowder
that.
was like gunpowder was like or guns
Where guns were
were invented in that
popularized.
area.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
it's like it got a shitload of guns and guns are very effective.
It does have a lot of guns.
It's true, and this is like we got to get our guys decked out with guns, so we
Yeah.
can be like, so we can have those guys like in Sekiro.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, and with that, it is time to go to bed
Yes.
for
Okay.
everybody.
Yeah.
You're not
No.
the boss of me.
Fuck that.
I guess you decided my curfew.
Yep.
I hope you
Good
all
night.
enjoyed this very talky session.
I
Yes.
enjoyed it.
Can't wait to hear the stunning. What happens next with the orphans?
I
Yeah.
hope they don't make it through the night.
Oh no.
What?
They
I'm
leave
not a fan of the
with all
orphans.
your valuables.
They have very high pitched voices.
Well, not anymore. They'll
And-
become deep voice.
Yes,
orphans.
they might
Yeah.
have normal voices now,
They hit puberty.
Let me
or
throw
maybe
them up.
just aren't like little tiny waifs in London.
We've been nurtured by a mother
I just
figure.
wanted to
We
throw
can
them up.
finally
Children,
blossom.
big-
Full-grown adult.
They were so malnourished. It was a
We were
medical
using those
condition.
voices in order to trick people and having sympathy for
The
us.
next
That
morning,
was an ancient urchin tactic.
Yeah, the next morning they reveal that they're all grown up now. The Kasumi's adopted them. Now they're
No,
leaving.
they reveal-
They're leaving
they-
the nest. They
they
put on
reveal-
business suits and take up briefcases and step out.
They reveal that they conned us and that they're actually rich, and then they go away.
It was a test to see if you were good and noble.
It's the
You
curse.
failed.
It's all right.
Oh
Yeah,
right, you still
You
have to
guys did not
investigate
figure
the
out
curse.
anything about
And
it.
yeah, we need to investigate the curse.
I'm
Yeah,
sure.
come
I'm sure I'll be fine.
But you did get a lot done.
Yeah, we
Yes.
did.
You found
Yeah.
out
Talked to
who
a
was
couple
paying
people.
Bulgar.
Yes. The
Um,
Tazos.
Those
Yes.
fiends.
Pascal's a hostage now.
That's right.
He doesn't even know it.
Mm.
Just blithely going along.
We have all the hostages of the 5 families now.
Yeah, honestly.
We got Cesare. We got Valentino. We got
Sorry,
Pascal.
what are you talking about, hostage? I shoot you with my gun, it does 3 damage.
I was about to say, sorry, is not a good hostage.
Yeah, honestly, it's not a good hostage because if you tried to blackmail the senseis, Luella would just be like, fuck you.
You can keep them.
I hate that guy. Although maybe now she'll have need of
In
my
fact, we're feeling sorry
plotting
for you.
cantankerous ways since she's trying to get revenge.
In fact, I feel sorry for you. Here's another hostage.
And they give us Poopo.
Yes, I'm not so foolish as to give you another Sensi
Yeah.
hostage. They just throw you another Morosini.
God.
Okay,
well then.
I enjoyed that session.
Yep.
Um,
Yes.
Till next week.
Good night,
yes,
folks.
until next
Good
week.
night.